This war is a complicated algorithm.
In our city, over my dead body.
Not so loud.
The best cryptarchs dig and dig, and one day the garden blooms.
Are we on? Are we live with this thing? Okay.
The world's changing, Guardian.
Hey, Nathan. How are you? Oh, here we are. The gorgeous tower with all of its beautiful microtransactions. Hi, Tess, you piece of garbage. Hey, everybody. How are you? Siege here. Today, Dude Meister, what's up? Today we're going to be basically running through all of my challenges, all the crap that I have to do because I haven't done it yet this week for my Titan. So that's going to be basically the focus on what gameplay I'm going to be doing, but more importantly, I need to talk about this game with you guys. I need to talk about this game with somebody who will listen, if nothing else. Now, the New Year's going pretty well so far, actually. It's going really well. Unless, you know, we're talking about Destiny the game, and then it's going just about as bad as it possibly could. You know, so at the end of the day, I don't really think that there's any other way to describe it. I think that, one, the fact that... Hey, who's taking a selfie with me? One, the fact that they... you know, built the game just absolutely terribly, and now we're finding out that pretty much everything I said in my video about why Destiny 2 was made was accurate. If you haven't seen this article yet, it's by a guy named Jason Schreier, who has been right about these things a bunch of times in the past, and essentially what happened is that around... I think it was April of 2016, Bungie decided as a company that Destiny was just too hard to actually do, putting out content the way that we as the players wanted. So they went and renegotiated their deal with Activision so that Destiny 2 could come out, and instead of them having to pump out big chunks of content, they would drip feed us little pieces of content, and in the process use Eververse as the way. There you go, Tony. They used Eververse as the method of being able to satisfy the financial obligations of the Activision contract with Bungie. So, what that essentially says, to me at least, if that article is true, which again, that guy he's been pretty good with this kind of thing in the past. This is not the first time that he's uncovered information about kind of some of the things, the bad things going on behind the scenes at Bungie. And, you know, at the end of the day, what that means for us is that I don't even 100% know that this game is going to continue on in the way that we think, because the developer, Bungie, is not looking at the game in that regard. They are trying to basically satisfy that contract with Activision through this chick right here.
It's easy math.
So...
You got the silver.
You know, when I saw that article, it's one thing to believe something that you see all the different stuff that's going on, like just little pieces as you're playing the game. You notice this thing doesn't seem, you know, completely accurate. This thing seems a little underhanded. But whenever you actually get some kind of justification of it and it becomes real, you know, I feel like... I know, you can't earn anything that Teth sells. Like, that's the problem. Like, even with this Dawning event, it's a huge issue in the fact that they basically went out and said that somebody did the numbers to try to figure out exactly how to get all the stuff from the Dawning engrams. And what they found is that you can't do it. Unless you pay the money, you cannot do it. Even if you have the best RNG luck, you still can't do it. So, you know, I was going to ask you guys, does anybody want to join me? You know, I'd love to play with you guys if you want. I got 2 open spots on my fire team, at least right now. What I want to do is I'm going to do some strikes to get those out of the way. Maybe hop into the Crucible and do this stupid mayhem thing so that essentially I can get my thing there. So what we can do is maybe just throw some people in if you guys are interested. If not, I'll just go it alone here. It's totally okay. Yeah. Yep. You're
being reassigned to the south wall.
Well, I can understand that, Nathan. And then I've only been playing it basically. The main reason why I've been playing Destiny 2, I have to tell you guys, is because of the fact that I do actually have a clan. Now, we only have 16 members, but at the same time, the way I see it is I started this clan up for certain people who do still play. I think I owe it to them to at least try to get my clan XP for them. You know, doesn't really matter how exactly. Sniper, I'd love to, but unfortunately, I don't have Destiny 2 for PSN. I do have a PSN account, which I will definitely add you for. There's really not that many people playing this game, to be honest. Well, that's okay. I'm going to start up. Maybe what we'll do right now is we'll hop into the Crucible and you guys can see how bad I am there, because that'll be fun. The guts of the game are fun, and what I would say is if you've never played Destiny, don't play Destiny 2. Get Destiny 1. If you can find enough people to actually play with in Destiny 1, it's fantastic. Destiny 2 is a shell of that game, which is just a huge shame. But here's my loadout, guys. This is what I'm going to be going in there with. I've been really having some fun with this Sentinel class just because to me, it's like the most diverse class in the game. The fact that you actually have an offensive ability and you have a defensive ability at the same time. So I've been a Titan since basically I started playing Destiny. That was like my main for the entire time. So I figured I'd bring it in. You can see I got the Nameless Midnight. I'll probably get toasted with this thing. Positive outlook. Yeah. I think for next week's stream we're gonna go back to D1 just to play a little bit of that, just to give a comparison, if you will. So JJ, I tried to get a refund for this game. I actually attempted to do it, and I was not successful doing that. How were you able to, like, what exactly, if you don't mind telling us, what was the process for you actually getting your refund back? You know, I would take all that stuff. I would take the entire game of Destiny 1 stuffed into Destiny 2. All the stuff. All the planets. Yep. Yeah, I'm okay with the free taken king size DLC. They need to do something. They have done nothing up to this point. Okay, that's cool. I'll throw that on there whenever I get done with the stream. Oh, I know. I played Destiny 1 to make one of my recent videos, and it's just so much more fun for a ton of things. There's the fact that you do feel more powerful. You get your super more often. The second thing is the weapon diversity. Like, the weapons in slot A feel infinitely different from the weapons in slot B, and then the weapons in slot B feel different from the weapons in slot C. So your primary, secondary, and heavy are all nice and spread out, and you can use them during a mission, and it's all good. In Destiny 2, it's completely different in the fact that I just feel like the entire game, all you do is shoot a primary weapon. That's it. You have all these weapons stuffed into the back of your vault that are all primary or that are all heavy weapons, power weapons that you can't basically use. Yeah, Eldra, that's exactly right. That's how I feel about it too. To the point where, like I said, the only time I actually play the game is just to get my clan rep during the week. That is it, and I'm basically only doing it for other people. You know, with everything that I got going on in Warframe, and not to mention the other thing is, anybody here played The Division at all? Anybody get into the Division at all? Because I can tell you, Joke, I agree with you. I don't understand, like, just from a business aspect, like, how could you make this game go so bad? All right, what do you do? Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Oh, has he got, like, infinite Slova bomb? Are we gonna have to deal with that, too?
Go, make them cry.
This weapon's so good, though. Ugh! You play the Division Warframe? So what I was thinking was potentially actually getting a potentially getting a Division stream going as well, like on a different day. If you guys would be interested in that, because that was a game that I really enjoyed, like, a lot. And now that they put all this new content into it, all this new stuff, like, oh, nice one. That's good. Where did he go? Oh my! Oh my God! I just got destroyed. So. Oh man! At the end of the day, like, that's where I just want to. I want to do these couple streams with Destiny here, just to see how you guys are into it, or if you're not into it, or whatever. I don't know. Whew! I think that's what I'm going to start doing. Now, how I want to do it though is because I have Warframe on Saturday, and at least for the time being, until something terribly bad happens, the Division on Sundays, maybe like a Wednesday night Division stream. So we have Destiny Sunday, Warframe Saturday, and Division Wednesday. Get away.
5 minutes remaining.
Waiting. Well, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Funky, that is an absolute great observation, and probably something that will happen in the end. Did I get him? I don't know if I did. Yeah, baby. Get out of there. What? Okay. Woo! I definitely want to do. Oh God! I definitely would like to do the Division. I think that would be a really good. Oh my God! What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Okay. Get out of here. Oh, so close. So close. So does anybody know when that new Division or new update for consoles is going to come on Warframe? Just out of curiosity. Like, I'm really excited. I just saw another, like, somebody's reaction at MC Gamers. I think his name is, he's like literally one of the best Warframe YouTubers out there. But he did a reaction to the new Apostasy prologue trailer, and like, or whatever it is, that little piece that they gave us. And it was just the gravity of the things that go on in Warframe are what makes it so special. Like, that kind of stuff. You know, the fact that, oh God, No, what are you doing? Oh, I got in his aftermath. As soon as it's not coming quick enough. This is really like the only version of this game that's actually worth playing, to be honest with you. This mayhem thing. And even then, like, it's completely broken.
Total destruction.
It's sad that, like, at the end of the day, you basically have like a completely broken system that they put out, especially with that Slova bomb thing that continues on. Not to mention the fact that, like, let's be real about it, like, if you're a golden gun hunter, you win almost all the time in here. Yeah, I hear you on that. That's definitely one of the things about the Division that probably wasn't the greatest thing ever. The fact that, like, the enemy types just get real boring really quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, it just seems like you're shooting the same dudes over and over again. But I have not yet played that horde mode that they have, and I have heard that it is fantastic. I know, newbie. Like, what's up with that? Like, how do you actually make a game and then decide after the fact, when you know it's a success with tons of people, how do you then go and say, you know what, this is too hard, we can't do it, and have your head ups, the top people, be like, okay, so what should we do instead? Like, if I'm the CEO of Bungie, and a guy comes up to me or a girl comes up to me and says, look, we can't keep doing this Destiny thing. It's just too hard. It's just too hard. I would say, well, if you can't do it, then I'm going to find somebody who can do it. Oh, I'd love to have some type of free content. That's a good point, Funky. That's a good point. Yeah. It's not like you're not getting supers every 2 seconds. You really need to glitch that. You really need to exploit that as well. But it's all over the place. But then again, I don't necessarily blame the player base. I blame the developers. How do you sit there and put stuff out consistently that's broken? Prometheus Lens, broken. Slova Bomb, broken. Like, there's all these systems going back that are just garbage. And they weren't even play tested. How can you spend that much money on a video game and have such a low effort product come out in the back? I have no clue how that works out.
Mayhem clash.
Yeah. Morty, that's exactly right. Like,
once more,
what's up, Travis?
Breach.
You have companies that actually want to try. You know? And what's sad about the whole situation for me is like with Destiny, you look at the detail, you look at the care that went into the game, you know, like just the little things that went into the visuals and the audio. There is some, it's polished beyond polish. You know, it's like the most, it's incredible. The problem is that everything past that, the visuals and stuff, oh, I hate that stupid thing. It actually shows up on the radar as a guy. Hello, anybody here? Here we go. Oh, he's got a call and we're screwed. And then again, okay, so let's do this. I want to. This is another thing that I wanted to kind of point out here. Somebody actually said this in one of the comments in my video. No. Well, he killed me with it. This gun here.
They've taken the lead.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Again, I gotta stay true to some of my people that stuck with me through Destiny, because at the end of the day, guys, like I know a lot of my new subs here have come from Warframe, and believe me, I'm ecstatic that you came over. But the way I see it is I just can't completely like give up on Destiny just because it's gone through a rough period. Because at the end of the day, like, what happens if Warframe? What happens if Warframe goes through a tough time? Like, do I want to just abandon that too? Like, the way I see it is I'm gonna try to give every
the lead.
benefit of the doubt that I can. But oh god, see, there it is. There's the slow bomb. There it goes. But I mean, most of my videos are going to be Warframe related these days. That's just the reality. How did you get behind me? What? Kill me? But I guess that's my main thing, and that's the reason why I'm sticking with it a little bit. You can obviously see it. If anybody looked at my content from before all this, it was purely Destiny. So moving away is definitely something that's you know, I have to calculate it a little bit. I just can't arbitrarily do it. But as you guys saw, my content is pretty much full of... There we got him, please. If this is how AAA titles are going to be from this point on, I feel like... You know what? I don't feel like that's going to be something that's going to happen. The reason why I'm saying that is because at the end of the day, I feel like these guys are still pushing a company narrative. They're still the main draw is obviously going to be money. So when they don't feel like they have a product anymore, that's whenever you're going to start seeing panic. So, I hate what Bungie's become too. There you go. Oh, do we have a Slova bomb on our team too? Alright, where you at? Alright, where are you at? I'm gonna die. I've only heard a little bit about this Cyberpunk 2077, but it's done by CD Projekt Red, correct? Isn't that the developer behind it? Oh, okay. Hey, thanks, guy. Hope you guys are enjoying my pure garbage Crucible skills. I didn't know if that was mine or somebody else's there. I want that, sir. Give me your heavy. Not so fast, my friend. Oh.
3 minutes.
Stupid Nova bomb.
Evenly matched.
Stupid. D2 killed my Destiny clan too! There's nobody that plays! I don't know. So that's another thing. Let's talk about that. Like, couldn't they have done something with the... Is there a guy there? Yeah, throw that Nova bomb. Oh, I hate you. Okay, so this reboot talk that we're talking about here is... There was an article that came out, essentially saying, by a guy named Jason Schreier, who's has some experience with, especially with Bungie in the past, saying that right around April of 2016, there was a reboot of Destiny 2. So at the end of the day, instead of them going down the path that they were originally setting out to do, they changed the direction of the game completely. And the reason why was so that they could change the game fundamentally to make Eververse the... oh, I'm dead. Told you. Make Eververse the sole method of monetization within the game so that they could satisfy the contract they had with Bungie, or with Activision. Okay. Yep. Witcher franchise. Yes. But what it did essentially is, I see you, I see you, I see you. Where? I don't see you. I don't see you. How did I not die there? Dude, Justice. I actually think Destiny is worse than Justice League myself. Get out of there. Wait, Cyberpunk might be having some trouble? I didn't hear that. So at any rate, that's what the reboot stuff is about. Destiny 2 essentially was made in over the course of 16 months. I don't know, Dan. It's a really good question to ask. How does that happen? How do you go through that 2 times in a row? You know, and furthermore, what does that say for the company as a whole? Like, exactly how is it being managed for this to happen on such a huge endeavor? It's not like we're talking about a product that might bring in, you know, a couple $100,000 to the company and supplement it. We're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars here. And all that stuff is just completely... You look at that money and you say, where exactly is this money going? It's not going into story development, obviously. It's not going into the development of the game, obviously. This is a reskin. This whole game is just basically Destiny 1 copied and pasted. Like, there is no possibility for me to see it any other way, just because of the fact that I've taken the time to do some research into the game and look at the 2 games together. They are identical. Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. All right, sounds good, Trav. Don't get me wrong. I feel like Bungie's gameplay is tight, but it's definitely not what it was in D1, and it's certainly not enough to keep me playing this game like in D1. Guys, I don't know if anybody else, you tell me if anybody else feels this way, or at least felt this way. When you played Destiny 1, if you played, how many days would there be where, like, you would hop onto the game and play when there was nothing to do? Like, I would get up in the morning if I had a day off or something, even if I had all of my stuff done. You know, obviously there'd be like little quests and things outside of the norm, but for the most part, I'd have everything done that I would need to do, and I would just get on and play. Just because it felt good. I don't do this with this game. I can't just pop Destiny 2 in and play it. I literally have to have a purpose to play this game, or it's not worth my time. That's right, Tyler. That's exactly right. Yep. I mean, that is where we are at with things at the moment, and it's such a shame. And the worst part is they don't address it like any company I've ever seen. If you see on your forums, every one of the posts for pages on end is about removing Eververse. I worked in business for 15 years. Company that isn't the same thing as Bungie, obviously, but kind of went within the industry, or kind of felt the same way industry-wise. And, oh God, nope. When you have such an outrage, you go to damage control immediately. You don't wait. You do not wait. You never wait. Because you're just losing more people. Is there someone down there? I can't tell. And it's like they didn't learn that lesson or something. Like, I've just never seen somebody not really care about their company. They care about what's going to happen next, given that their customer is obviously upset.
They just took the lead.
I miss the search for God roll weapons too. Like that's something we really need to bring back, or do something different. Like perfect example. Oh no. Oh no. So there's all these slots. I know it's literally Shores of Time. I know it's insane. Like there's so many reused assets in Destiny 2 from Destiny 1. But oh crap, I was gonna say. Oh, so you got all these little slots in your weapons, right? Why couldn't they make it like Warframe in the fact that you can literally pick up a bunch of mods, one for handling, one for whatever, you know. Oh god, oh, he missed that rocket. I can't believe it. No, 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 no. Oh god, I'm just missing that thing so often. You got me. So you got all these little things, all these little slots, right, in your weapons. Like, wouldn't it be cool if these were all empty, like open, and you could go out and actually find the mods that you wanted for a particular gun and then apply them? On my team, yeah.
Pulling away.
Yeah, they are.
Back. I bet they didn't expect that. Double down.
Sorry, I had to get real for a second.
Fought like a titan of the first pillar.
There's a hammer right around this thing here. Oh! Alright, we got him.
I know a comeback when I see one. Fight on! Only 5 minutes left.
Oh! Wow, the colony missed. I can't believe it. Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. Like, you don't get rid of your customer base. You grow your customer base. So if nothing else, you make sure that the product is good for the people that have already been buying the product, because you know you definitely want them to continue buying anything else that you're doing, and then you tack on the game after that fact. You just don't throw away your base. Who's ever done that? Like, who's running the ship? Who is running the ship? Give me this.
Don't spend all that ammo in one place.
Give me all that column. Oh crap, I didn't see that dude hiding behind the thing there. That's true. Face, that's true.
Your enemy is pushing for victory. Punish them for it.
You mean 60 FPS, right? What? That guy was dead? You know, though,
it's time, Guardian.
you gotta admit though, you have to love what happened with Battlefront, and the fact that the community was able to get people to essentially like, oh wow,
3 minutes remaining.
They were able to change things, like in a significant way. You know, when you're talking about money,
and fight again. Guardians are measured.
Yeah, I know. That's a good point, Shane. And I guess my question again with that is I thought that the game was supposed to be coming out on a new platform that was supposed to make the content easier to update. Like, isn't that the thing? Wasn't that the thing that they lied to us about? I haven't seen any of these quick patches that they keep talking about. You know, you have the Prometheus lens. They introduce it into the game. It obviously wasn't play tested, so it's completely broken. Comes in, so instead of them actually fixing it, what do? They just hand everybody the weapon, make everybody waste their money on that particular asset or that particular exotic for that week through Xur and whatnot, because even though it was great for one weekend, after that they nerfed it. Yeah, buy Legend, exactly. That's right. Yeah, we do need more competition. We need more games. We also need more games from companies like DE, smaller companies that are willing to put the effort in and maybe even make up where they can't exactly, like make up for graphics or something like that. Because obviously, like the budget that Bungie comes off of or a Star Wars Battlefront is just going to be enormous. It's just going to be money upon money. So they're going to be able to do the fine details. They're going to be able to make things appear just gorgeous in ways that other places aren't going to be able to afford. Simple enough. Carbon, I haven't even got into Trials that much since like the second week of it, to be quite honest with you, just because it just didn't seem the same like the old Trials. DE does make a great platinum economy. I will say that. Newbie, I don't know if I would put your hope into Anthem. I am being extremely, extremely cautious with that game, and there is no way that I'm going to buy Anthem right off the bat. I want to see it. I want to see people playing it. I want to see it tested for a little bit. I want to see what the systems are before I ever even spend a dime on it, because what do they say? You can shear a sheep many times, but you can skin it only once. And I felt like with this Battlefront thing, and with everything that's going on with Activision and the Bungie thing, and with Destiny 2, but more importantly than that even is the fact that they got that system patented. Wow. They got that system patented that essentially like makes you, or at least attempts to get you into places that you're going to be spending more money. Oh god, am I gonna die? Nope. This. Oh man. Yeah, do not pre-order. I would say the same thing. I would say do not pre-order Anthem. Oh wow.
They just took the lead.
So I just want to tell you, all you guys, this is the first time I've ever done a live commentary over Crucible, and I think you can see I probably don't deserve to be doing this. Never pre-order. Never pre-order. Never pre-order. Oh god. No. No. That was dumb. I mean, I hate to say it, like, they have turned me off to pre-ordering for everything. Video game wise. Like, I don't think I would ever... Oh my god, I'm getting destroyed this game. Yeah. Well, I'd have been one of those people, to be honest with you. So let me just apologize as well, because I would have been one of those people that are essentially telling you, yeah, just go buy it. They'll eventually right the ship. Like, it's definitely going to happen, man. There's no two ways around it. Go get them, spiders. God, thank God, man. I can't try and get them. Get them.
You're in the lead.
See, I was not able to get my refund. I did attempt.
5 minutes. plenty of time to fight.
That's a hell of a jump right there. Poison is just killing it. Boo. Oh, why don't you spawn? Here. I bought the season pass. I did everything. I'm going to tell you something. The worst part about it for me, the look is amazing. For me, like, I was at that point, like, pretty big into being like a a Destiny YouTuber. So if you guys ever get a chance to go back and see my impressions on like just the reveal of it, like, you can tell pretty quickly that I wasn't really too excited about what I had seen. Oh, didn't work. Okay. And I was actually not going. Oh, man, I suck. Yeah, I hope it does too. I don't think it's going to, because they've already kind of touted this as an event thing. I highly doubt. Hey, hit me. Get him, my minion. Ugh!
3 minutes. You're evenly matched.
I will tell you, I think everybody has to admit this. Like, what was the best thing that ever happened to Warframe? Oh, God. My opinion, it is the launch of Destiny 2. Like, it is literally pushed Warframe to the point. Oh, I'm so sick of these. Oh, I guess my thing didn't count. Whatever. Yeah, get out. Oh! Yeah, D2 and Warframe are completely different games. I mean, let's be fair about it. Like, D1 and Warframe are completely different games in how they play, but I think they have a lot of similar attributes too.
Your enemy has defeated you.
Jeez, that was just a bitch.
Not this time. Fight again whenever you want.
Am I done with this Crucible crap? Anybody that knows me knows I hate the Crucible. I just think it's... Okay, so here's why I don't like Crucible in Destiny. And it's not Crucible's fault. I don't like the fact that it feels like they balance the game specifically for Crucible. The gun system, in my opinion, I know some people do enjoy the two primary thing. I can't get into it. I can't get into it. Because... Alright, Funky. See you, buddy. Thanks for coming. It just seems like the new gun system seems like it forces you to just use the same weapons over and over again. Like, perfect example. If you like auto rifles, you're probably going to use maybe 2 auto rifles. You know, like I use the Origin Story a lot of times. So and I'll put that together with a positive. So now I have positive outlook, Origin Story. I'm using 2 primaries, you know, for the most part. And then every once in a while, when I get lucky enough to get some actual power ammo, I can use a 3rd weapon that's different than the other ones. Not to mention I don't have my abilities anymore. So anything I walk into is just primary, power kill right there, maybe an ability kill, then back to primaries for a while. What's Bungie going to say in the next update? It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, we're listening to your feedback, We hear what you're saying about Eververse. In 2018, we're going to strive to make that a more respectable place for both the player and for us as a company. They're going to talk about a bunch of systems that they want to work on at some point down the line. They're going to say, you know, we're looking at different things for our ranked playlist, for Crucible. I've heard that they've added Rumble and potentially Elimination back in, so they might just kind of throw that out to us as a little pacification. Like, here, just take this and shut up for a little while. Just shut up. You know, have some Rumble. This is what you wanted, right? Yeah. PvP it's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. I don't know. I don't understand what they were doing. I want to know. I said this in one of my videos. I want to know if there's actually anybody at Bungie who works there that plays the game on a daily basis. Like, goes in every single day, fires the game up, plays a bunch of stuff. I don't believe that there's a guy that does that, because this dude would be, or this girl, whatever, whoever has a job, would be like going up to people every day being like, hey guys, I was playing and there's some stuff that's jacked up. You got to fix it. And then the next day, well, on top of all the stuff that I told you yesterday that needs to be fixed, I found some other stuff here. You know, I got some other stuff. If you want to get that. Well, I mean, okay, so Embora, I agree with that, but I also feel like there is a level that what that does is it gives the, I guess, the cause a face. If people just stop playing the game, they could give any number of reasons as to why people decided to stop playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if when you have such a unified community outcry of remove Eververse, it may never work. But what it will show later down the line is that people they came together on a particular topic, and if Bungie doesn't address that, it's only going to be a black eye. So I like the fact, I like the remove Eververse thing. I like the community unification. I think it's something that's necessary. Oh, I suck. I did not see that. Someone visited Bungie Studios, had some revealing shit to say about the morale of the devs once they love and play the game. So they do actually enjoy this game. Really? Okay, so then I guess if that's the case, then the current people at Bungie, the current people who are making the game, and I just have a very, very differing opinion on what should be going on. And furthermore, like, I still don't feel, even if that is the case, I feel like, who's the game for? Oh god, I said. Yeah. Well, this is it for me. I've said that to a bunch of people. I spent my $100. I wasted my $100. I'd like to see some return on that investment, even if it's just me kicking and screaming for a while. And so that's one of the main reasons why I play. Am I going to live through this? Nope. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. You know, if something major doesn't happen by the whatever the next DLC is going to be, like Gods of Mars, whenever it's coming out, September, or I mean spring or whatever. I guess what I'm saying is, if I don't see something significant there that makes me feel like I actually want to play this game at all, and I'm not really sure why I should continue to play it. Like, that will be a situation for the guys, for the people that are sub to me for Destiny content, and I do believe there are still a fair amount of you. If it comes to that point where we get to see the Gods of Mars things and there's really nothing of innovation, nothing of any type of change, and it just seems like they're doing the same thing over and over again, oh God, I won't be playing anymore. So that is one definite thing that people should know, is that we're definitely on a bit of a time frame as far as the Destiny content, because I'm not one to just let people slide with this crap. So I'm gonna do my due diligence here. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to make the best of the situation. Ow! By losing. And if it's not something at least to my liking, after this next DLC comes, then we're done. We're done. I don't see any reason at that point to guys, I'm just shit this game. I think I've come to my crucible fill, actually. I can't wait to get out of this game. I just can't do it.
You've lost the lead.
I don't care, Shax. I don't. What I would like to see is those 3 minutes and 3 seconds.
3 minutes.
Snooch faster.
Matched. Good. Gains the lead.
This weapon, though, is amazing. If every gun in Destiny, if every exotic in Destiny was made with the care that the colony was made with,
oh, no.
you'd at least still have something. Yeah, I know it's not going to be a major expansion, but I guess the way I see it is again, it goes back to my whole situation where we're talking about a company doing the right thing. Like, I see Destiny, in crisis mode right now. Like, that's where I see the game to be. And if I'm a CEO of a powerful company that stands to lose a lot of revenue in the end, just based upon what we're seeing from the customer base, I'm doing something. I mean, I'm doing something major, right?
Gains the lead.
How did that guy take 2 hits?
Keep it up, and victory is yours.
God. No, I don't want any more loot. I don't want any more loot. I don't want the loot, okay? I have plenty of loot, and I think that's the one thing that Bungie's missing right now. I don't want to just be given stuff for the sake of being given stuff. Now at the end of a Crucible match, you literally get like 4 blues and other stuff, and it's just like, at the end of the day, I don't want that. What I want is a meaningful reason to get the things. Perfect example. Somebody brought up a little bit earlier in the stream here that, like, they wanted weapon rolls back. That makes sense. I like that. I like something that would actually give me a reason to continue to play every day. I don't understand why people didn't care for the whole God roll thing. It gave you something to strive for, and I understand that certain people didn't have as much time to grind for the exact weapon they wanted. And heck, I didn't even, do that very often. But look at all that loot. Look at all that loot. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to all that stuff that they just gave me. All I'm going to do is just delete it all.
The only bad
I want.
Is a tie.
Here's my idea. Here's how I would do it if I was at the top of Destiny. I would make the current gun system the way it is, as far as if you have to stick with the static rolls, that's fine. But I would make the guns have at least 2 slots to 3 slots open for mods, that you could manipulate the guns a little bit the way that you wanted to do it. Every exotic in the game would have a quest behind it. It wouldn't have to be a huge quest. I'm getting out of this thing. It wouldn't have to be a huge quest. I like the idea of God rolls because, not because of the game itself, but for what it does for the player engagement. Okay, I understand. Like I said, I get the other side of the coin where you get, you know, hey, I can't go out and I can't grind for that perfect gun. I get that. But what I am saying is there are people that would like to do that and want to put the time in. And why should they be punished for doing that? Like, obviously, the game means a ton to them if they want to put that, if they want to spend all their time doing it. At least, if nothing else, give them something that makes it worth their time and the money that they paid. Yes, that's exactly what Bungie's like, Kane. See, now, Mike, let me ask you this on that question, though. You don't have to grind the game to get a great rolled gun. It's possible to get a gun early on, and I'm not saying it's going to happen for everybody, but what I am saying is that it gives you a little bit of variety in what you're choosing. Okay, so if any of you guys are playing Destiny, how many people are using the same basic gun for everything in the game? Like, that's what I want to know. How many people are actually using the same loadout? It doesn't matter what you're doing, just using the exact same loadout for everything that you do in the game. Maybe switch over a gun here and there just because if you have multiple characters, one gun is sitting over here on your hunter and the other one's on your warlock or something like that. And you don't even take the time to flip the guns over. For me, that's my whole thing. I mean, I like the auto rifles. Don't get me wrong. I like the Omilon auto rifles. I think they're great. And because of that, I really don't use anything else. Yeah, buying Bright Ingrams is not progression for me at all. But I will say this. Some of the stuff that's locked in Eververse, ghosts, shaders, ships, that kind of thing, was an endgame piece. To some people, it's cosmetic. To me, it's not cosmetic. I understand that in-game, I guess I shouldn't say that. It is cosmetic, but to me, it's a necessary cosmetic item. Because I remember in Destiny 1, whenever raids gave you the most sought-after sparrows, ghosts. There you go. Perfect. You run the same shit for PvP and PvE. Same thing all the time. Hey, Justin, what's up, man? Doesn't it suck? Look, here we are. Now I went from Crucible to Strikes, and guess what weapons I'm using? Am I doing this alone? Oh, that's awesome. I'm not used to actually having the ability to do a strike solo. Watch me die. Oh, wait, it's just because... Oh, they're all... Why wouldn't it just put me with them? Yeah. Kane, that's exactly my point, you know? And, okay, so, Mike, that's what I'm talking about too, right there. That is the difference with the different rolled weapons as well, and the fact that you can totally play your change your play style up completely based upon a new weapon. Anybody that's played Warframe knows this, has to know this exquisitely, in the fact that if you get a new weapon, it could completely change how you play the game. And I think the same thing goes on with Destiny, you know? I mean, if you had good weapons, not only would you want to play more because you got a weapon that you're really excited about playing with, but it could change your playstyle. Yeah, that's another thing. That's
You're all
Eldred, that's a good point. Another thing that's missing from this game, and a buddy of mine actually brought this up yesterday, is the exploration. Has anybody else like explored this game? It doesn't seem like there's much of a reason to. Versus in Destiny 1, there were so many little like neat things you could find in different areas. You know, like just the ghosts and everything just seemed to be like so buried, and you just come across stuff. That was like really interesting stuff. What are you guys doing? Take a couple of you out. Get out of the way. Oh, I was gonna come grab you, bro. Oh! What are you doing? Stop it. You did. Okay, so Mike, what would you say that you found? Did you come across like interesting things? There isn't anything to find other than the flavor scans, exactly. And it just goes right back to the same idea that it's just so low effort. Like nothing was put into the game. Oh, I'd love to see the Necrochasm back. No, I wouldn't. I don't want to see the Necrochasm. What am I saying? No, no more Destiny 1 guns. If you want it to be a different game, then you give me new stuff.
Friendly query. What have you done to attract such hostile species to my planet?
Pardon me. Game audio is a bit too loud. Alright, tell me if that changes a little bit for you there. Ken. Yeah, low quality, it's a travesty what we have here. When you played Destiny 1 with such consistency and you look back on what we have now. Guys, how does the audio sound? Is that better? Why do I still play D2? Okay, well, I'll give you. Oh, I'm gonna die. The reason why I still play D2 is for two reasons. One, I have a clan, and I feel obligated to make sure that even though I might not be having a good time with the game, that I at least make it so that the people that are enjoying the game, that are in my clan, you know, get as many benefits as possible. That's the first reason. The second reason would be that I spent $100 on this bastard, and although I realize that I probably shouldn't be playing it just for the Bungie numbers to make them look bad, at the same time I look at it like I spent $100 freaking on this game and I don't have like tons of money, so like I want to get my investment. That might be like not the best way to go about it, and I agree, but you know, maybe that's the selfish aspect. A lot of my clan is gone too. Okay, a lot of my clan is gone too. Yeah, I know. Seriously, Purple Ingram. Yeah. Whoopee. The exotics aren't even exciting. I mean, you know, you can say, hey, look, I got a legendary, and wow, it's great. But like, the exotics aren't really that fun. Not to mention, this is interesting, guys. You might enjoy this. With my hunter. Will you get away from me? With my hunter, I am currently on a 6 Graviton forfeit streak.
Why didn't that happen to the Red Legion?
I have gotten the Graviton forfeit 6 times in a row as far as exotics, and that means, you know, that's basically like not just the exotics, but also like the stuff that you get from Zavala and all that other garbage, you know, for your milestones and crap. 6 forfeits. 6. How can that possibly be?
I think they want their drill back.
Oh god. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, here it is right here. The one that shoots spiders. And let me say that this gun is fabulous. It's everything you could possibly want from an exotic weapon. It's just beautiful. It works perfect. Although I heard, check this out, guys. If you're playing with the colony on PV or on PC, you're gonna want, if you want the thing to actually work right, you're gonna actually want to turn your frame rate down to at least 48 frames per second, because it doesn't work at 120 or at 60 frames or 120 or whatever you're running yours at PC wise. But again, there's another thing that's screwed up. What's the question I just saw? Destiny 1 did start out pretty bad and got better. It absolutely did, okay? So let's discuss that for a second. The reason why I'm not willing to give Destiny 2 the same type of leeway is because the way I see it is they've made that mistake already. You can't just keep making that mistake in every game and expecting us to just constantly be like, oh, okay, I get it, you know. At some point you're going to get the game right. Like, you had a game sitting there waiting for you. Like, you had a 3-year beta. You know, if you really want to look at it in that regard, like you did. No. No, no, no. No. Don't. I don't want to use my super on you, sir. No. Jerk. I thought the PvP, I thought a lot of the stuff in Destiny 1 was fun. Like, there's so many things. Like, how come they didn't bring back strike scoring? That was fun. How hard could that be to code in? Just little shit. Like, oh, no. Ow. 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 Yeah, dismantling an exotic is... Well, I mean, everything in the game is stripped down. You know, you don't get anything for exotic, for getting rid of exotics. Exotics aren't really fun. You know, for the most part, like, I mean, some of these exotics that we have in this game are next to putrid. Like Lucky Pants? You know, or like the Kepri Sting, or whatever the heck that thing is. 4v4 does suck. 4v4 seriously sucks. Yeah, that's the best part about all their stuff is, like, whenever they came out with that thing saying about the XP, and they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Like, our systems are not working the way that we wanted them to. And I'm thinking, you designed it. Do you think that we as a community are that stupid to try to believe that this wasn't how the game was designed? That, like, somehow, like, this was just a mistake? And again, I go back to it, like, do you not have anybody testing your stuff? Like, wouldn't they have noticed, hey guys, by the way, we're not actually getting as much XP as the game is telling us. So that's probably going to be something we're going to want to, you know, kind of address. But no, hey, come back. That's... Well, I mean, and again, too, the saddest part about it is like, you know, tons of people got back to me on my videos saying, God, you know, it's not Bungie. It's not Bungie. It's Activision. It's Activision. Well, if that Jason Schreier article is to be believed, it was Bungie. Well, you're probably going to see it a lot more. You're probably going to see me die a ton more. Mainly because I'm not really paying attention to the game. Oh, somebody absolutely coded that in. That was 100% deliberate. And you know it was deliberate. How do you know it was deliberate? Easy. They doubled the amount of XP. Right after the fact. I mean, if that doesn't actually tell you that you know, that they were basically caught and they just wanted to make up for it, nothing will. Yeah, that's Justin. That's a really good. That's a good point right there. They took all that. They had to take all of that time and resource. Nice throw. To strip out all the D1 content. And it just wasn't enough time to make a real good game after that. Oh, he's shooting me. Stop it. Oh, I don't have shade step. Crap. Hey, where'd my snowball go? Will you stop shooting at me? Shoot somebody else. There you go. I need to be the brunt of your attention all the time. Oh, I'm so dead. So dead. Do I think Deej will quit? I don't know if Deej... I don't know, honestly, if Deej... what his position is on the whole thing. You know, if I was Deej, I probably would have considered quitting after that live stream with the 2 tokens and a blue thing. And I would have went straight to the people who were responsible for that and said, are you trying to tell me that we went out on a limb to put this live stream out there, and this is what happens on the stream? Are you joking? You're going to allow that to happen to me? Like, I'm out here trying to put out fires for you guys, and this is how you treat me? Like, I am done. But because he didn't do that, and you really didn't hear anything, I'm not 100% certain that he's not part of the whole deal. You know? Yeah. I do believe Deej is a bit of a yes man. Yeah. It's... Well, see, I like to try to think of myself as I'm not a yes person. I'm not a yes person with anything. So if I do back something and I try to defend it, I believe that with how my whole heart. With Destiny, I think everybody's pretty much seen that I'm not going to just sit back and allow them to just keep going. And furthermore, I don't understand why certain fans of the game attack people who are trying to bring up issues. Like, if you're just being a jerk on the forums, that's one thing. And I think it's pretty simple, pretty easy to see when you're acting that way. But I've seen countless threads where people bring up legitimate issues with the game. And they just get toasted in the forums, like to the point where, well, why do you still play? Why do you still play? Just stop playing. Just stop playing. No, we don't want us to stop playing. What we want is to fix the game. It's going to benefit everybody in the process. It's not just going to benefit the people who are bitching about it. Like, even the people that are enjoying the game right now. There is still a level to the game that they apparently have just not understood that Destiny 1 had. Because whereas Destiny 2 does have some things about it that make it all right, it's what they took out that is the serious problem. Yeah, I still can't believe. I cannot believe that they left Eververse open. Any other company that with this much backlash, what is with all the strikes being screwed up?
Fire team, an urgent matter requires my attention. Hawthorne has volunteered to handle your strike on this end.
Wait, are they going after the weapons guy?
Oh god, and then
You
the
said
writing.
I could do that.
And then the writing. Writing
Those couple
writing in this
doing out
game
there?
is so
We need to
terrible.
get past the security door.
I lied.
Just don't play it if you don't like it. I understand that, but that's the thing. I don't want that, because what I want is to be the person that attempts to at least help the situation out. And I can't understand what all the problems of the game are
I mean, we're allowed
if
to
I'm
have
not
flares
able
anymore
to
after
play it.
It had nothing to do
You know,
why we're not allowed to have flares.
I do.
It was
I would like things to change for the better, you know, at some point.
Get ready for reinforcements.
And how can you have an accurate response to what the game needs if you're not, you know, actually playing the game? That's my thoughts, at least. Yeah, I'll think of one too. There you go. We got 3 walls.
Scanners show reinforcements coming.
that last harp.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so I'm reading in the chat here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having to concentrate on these strikes a little too much here. I don't like it. Howling, you need to do your job better. Protect me. As far as Deej is concerned, I honestly don't think that Deej would come right out and say anything of that nature. not because he doesn't feel that way. I would actually make the argument that the reason why he wouldn't do it is because of just future game prospects, of future job prospects. Like, that's not something that you want to have on your resume. A lot of people might look at that as like, oh, wow, he's really making a stand. But at the same time, I think if you're a company person, you want to be in a situation where the people who are representing your company are going to give you the opportunity to fix it. And whereas Bungie obviously doesn't care about any of that kind of stuff, I think whoa, nice jump. I think a future place that Deej would want to work at might care about that. And so with that in mind, I don't think he's going to soil his, you know, his job prospects for the future and everything else. Like, get away from me. Oh my, Ken. Did they ever butcher the writing? Did they ever butcher the characters for Save 14 and Osiris? What they did to Save 14, if you like the lore of the game, is disgusting. Now, one would assume that the people that I was referring to are not D1 players, at least with any type of consistency. Oh, hey, look, there's that sweet, sweet loot. Ow. All right. Enough of this. All right, we all good? We all counted for? Nice. Well, Mike, that's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. And I can tell you whenever that time is going to come. It's going to be shortly after the release of Gods of Mars. Because, again, like I said, I do have an obligation to some of the people on this channel as well. So, you know, they stuck with me whenever I was nothing. I had no channel. And so I want to at least give it it's an honest due. But after Gods of Mars, I think I didn't notice it, like his footsteps.
This guy's no ordinary space rhino. His weapons ain't half bad either.
Those weapons
actually
have
pretty
snuffed
cool.
out too many people.
After Gods of Mars, if it's not what I feel it should be, then I'm out. I'm done. To Saint 14?
Well, this looks familiar.
They could have done so many things with that story. Like, he's one of the most celebrated, or at least famous, titans in all of Destiny lore. And it was like, again, we're in the situation where we don't get to see anything of what happened, merely the aftermath. And, well, I don't want to ruin it for you. There's a quest, essentially. If I don't know if that's something that you're going to be getting into or not. I'm probably going to die here. No. No. Stop with that gun. But like every other story in Destiny, you get it from like the 1,000 years after the fact aspect or perspective. You never actually get to see anything going on. Like, it's a time thing. So, like, literally, we could have easily been a part of what was happening. Not to mention the fact that the lore that they've added in with the Saint 14. I don't want to get too much into it, mainly because of the fact, like I said, that I don't know who else got in the quest, and I don't want to spoil things. Did you guys see that there's actually a, ruin it for me, I won't play it. Well, you're going to have to get everybody else is okay on the ruin it thing, because that's some serious spoilers. But let's put it this way. Here's what you know. Here's what I can say. You get to see Saint 14. You get to see him loud and clear. He's right in front of you. I'm so going to die. Hey, I don't want to punch you. I want to punch you. Nope. Oh god, here they come. Get the hell out of my way. You get a great shotgun and an emblem. That's what you get. And what is with the emblems, too? Does anybody else think that they're like a terrible reward? Exactly. Sap, that is exactly right. It's how they handle it that makes it different.
Look for control panels.
And I think we can all pretty much agree that how Bungie has handled this game is borderline incompetent. Can we all agree on that? No, I can. The spiders are amazing.
Oh, come on. Another one?
I did see the comic, which was one of the worst. It's not even a comic. It's the same thing that goes on in all these games. I promise you, once you hear this thing, you'll probably never unhear it again. Consider how many times during the game that all you hear from the narrators of the thing, be it a strike, be it a story, be it a adventure, you know, whatever it is. How many times do you have situations where it's just two people arguing with each other about, like, either a thing that they did or a place that they've been, or, like, you know, oh, don't make fun of them, you know, they're trying to do something here. The one girl talks about, like, how, you know, men are insecure, and it's so strange. Like, I understand that there's a lightheartedness going on here, but what I will say is like, in this situation, in my opinion, when you have what's supposed to be the end of the world times going on, you know, like, this is supposed to be the greatest threat we've ever faced. People don't have their light anymore. All this other crap. You can't always be joking around. Like, there's got to be some seriousness from time to time. If you want me to be, like, immersed in the game, you got to go there. Warframe does that. The Second Dream goes super personal. It goes super deep, and it goes super personal. And it gives you that feeling that you actually are doing something in the world. Like, something's happening here that actually matters. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. That's like I said. I'm not saying that in other situations that it wouldn't work that way. What I am saying is just in the idea of where we're at in this game and what's happening, there's just way too much petty argument. He'd add mutagen samples to the alerts. Can't you just... Wait, where do you get mutagen samples at again? No, don't say that. Saf, don't say that. I don't ever want Rebecca to go. Like, I'm going to let you guys in on something here. Everybody here's going to know about it right now. I have a secret crush on Rebecca. I'm sure everybody else does too. But, like, I just... She's, you know... Can you imagine, like...
Zahn is here.
To me, like, it would be so crazy to, like, if you could date the Lotus, like, in real life. I would be making her do all kinds of crazy, creepy things, like talking to me with the helmet on. You know, like, just stuff, you know? Like, oh, man. I love Rebecca. I just love her. I'm going to do that. I saw a little bit about that with the Cora story. In the VK7, is it? Isn't that supposed to be... What's her Kavat's name? Venari? Vitari? You have a crush on Megan? Okay, yeah, I could see that too. Megan would be a second choice for me. I mean, she's still awesome too. Not to mention, isn't she the voice of Valkyr? I love that scream. Stop shooting at me. Ken, that's a good point. I don't understand. Like, how can you just get rid of the voice and not at least explain why there's no voice any longer? Here's an idea. For the Destiny 2 thing. Like, you know how we suck now as Guardians, basically? Like, we have no power for the most part? Well, like, couldn't they have said something to the effect of, like, oh, well, now that the Traveler's alive again, like, the Traveler actually needs some of his power. So, we don't have as much. So, it's kind of more of a team-based... Like, they could explain things, and even if you didn't like it, you'd still at least have a frame of reference as to why it was happening, but they don't do that. Yeah, I don't care what Rebecca is as long as she's a particular thing to me. This is when this gun is amazing. This is what every exotic in Destiny should be modeled after. There's creativity here. There's utility. It's got a great look. Why did I do that? Crap. Okay. I'll show you something else here soon, for the people that haven't seen the gun yet. Just little stuff. Here, check this out. Look in... See my ammo? See it's moving? Can you see that? I don't know. I don't think Destiny ever had it so that you could change your voice. But we had one. We definitely had a voice. That's a real thing. Like, that's not fake. And then it's just gone. And like I said, and there's no explanation for why it happens. You can't do that. There are people that care. You know, it's just like a movie. Like, if you go to any movie and you come out of the movie, especially if it was one that you were like super excited about, and, like, the story didn't make any sense to you, and you're just like, wait a second, what? Like, I've seen this movie, I know this lore, and this is not right.
The shield is making me mad. Got to get rid of it.
Well, here's the best part, guys. If anybody's played D2 and gotten through the vanilla campaign for it, then you know that everything that the Guardians did in Destiny 1 and 2 was completely worthless. It had no meaning whatsoever because of the ending of Destiny 2's campaign. Why do I say that? Well, now there's going to be spoilers here for who didn't, but I want to say this story sucks so hard that it doesn't matter if it's spoiled for you. I promise you, you won't care that much. Oh, he's on over there. So at the very end of the story, after we defeat Gaul, the main baddie, who's supposed to be the greatest threat we've ever had, and yet we were able to like dispatch him in like 2 seconds. Once he is taken down by the Guardians, he like gets into his final form. And turns into some kind of darkness creature. At that point, the Traveler comes back to life and takes out the newly formed God thing, whatever it is. And in that moment, when you find out that all of Destiny was, you were supposed to be the reason, the way that Earth could fight back, because the Traveler couldn't do it anymore. So what happened to that? If now the Traveler has been able to be resurrected at any point it chose, why do you even need the Guardians? What was the point? It's all, I mean, the Traveler can obviously kill things on his own. They should have done all kinds of things. No. Oh, I know. And then, oh my goodness. Ikora is the worst. She is the worst. Her demeanor changes so frequently, from her being like a scared little girl to back to being some kind of ridiculous badass. I don't get it. It's so weird. Her character motivations in the story are just everywhere. And it doesn't get any better with Curse of Osiris. I mean, oh my goodness, that story in itself is it's just pure garbage. So you getting that? Yeah, I mean, can we put the Traveler down? I mean, maybe that's what needs to happen at this point. Like, just say, you're old, you stupid orb. Oh, I get killed there all the time too, bro. I don't know. I can tell you this, guys. At some point, I'm gonna have to make my peace with this Destiny story. I'm gonna have to come clean with it the whole way. So there will be a future video where we're gonna just have to talk about what's going on here. All right, let's do this. Let's make a snowball. And let's end this. That's true. The Traveler did cause all the problems. And I guess you could make the argument that that's the reason why it stayed dormant all that time, so that the light would, the darkness wouldn't follow. But it didn't happen. I played 3 years of Destiny 1. There was darkness everywhere. So if that's the case, like, it's a bad storyline, because if the Traveler's sacrifice was supposed to keep the darkness from us, then why did we have to continually fight the darkness? And furthermore, why were we even in there at all? Like, why is the darkness even here? And if you made the sacrifice so that the darkness wouldn't come, then why did you have to make ghosts and guardians? Sell you D3. Oh, I know. I'm not doing it. I'm not. That last scene. Oh, no. I'm telling you, this is where we're at with things. Like, I don't care about the lore. This is coming from a Destiny lore guy. I don't care about the lore anymore because Bungie doesn't care about the lore. They don't care at all. If anybody followed the lore and knew about like Dredge and Yor, what they did to Dredge and Yor in his little thing where they turned him into a Titan at the very end just to be cheeky, because that's the only reason why they did it. Didn't make any sense other than that. And they finished his story up in a little dead ghost at the very end of Age of Triumph. You know, and then so you get to this part here and you get with Osiris. And they bring him out. Why? Why did they bring Osiris out? Like he comes in and then we basically fix the Infinite Forest, I guess, something he couldn't do, and then he just leaves again. What was the point? Saint 14, you brought him back in the game. Why? You keep shitting on all the best parts of the Destiny lore. I don't get it. I will play some more Frame, but not today, Tyler. I'm doing some Destiny today. But don't you think, Praetorian, don't you think, though, the Agents of Darkness would have gotten back to the darkness? I mean, their whole situation was they wanted to try to find the Traveler. So here they are. They know where it's at. I mean, it's sitting right there. Oh, the last city. The last... Again, here's another thing. How in the hell... You're telling me that we got Guardians flying in from the tower, left, right, and center, every single day, all the time, and they couldn't... nobody noticed all of the freaking Cabal hanging out? Is that supposed to be a joke? All the tower's defenses got taken down, and nobody noticed it until all of them were taken. Why do I keep getting put into these... Wait. Is this one open yet or not? Are the doors open? Let me in! Let me in! I got a milk boat. Okay. I have a Twitch account. I haven't actually started streaming to Twitch, mainly because I wanted to try to keep it with YouTube. I know that a lot of people don't use YouTube anymore. For streaming. Can I please get through? What is happening? Maybe at the other side? Oh my god, this game is so broken. Yeah, I know. Bad weather at the start. Crazy. Junior, I totally agree with you. I think that that is absolutely 100% correct. That they... Okay, so what are we doing here? Guys, are you coming? Can we play? Foxtrot. Dude! I think that... I actually think they had some good things going on with the story, and then they just decided to screw it. Once they did that reboot, once they got rid of Joseph Staten and Marty, what was that? Marty something or other. Oh man. Wait. If you like comics, don't read the comic. Do not, whatever you do, don't read the comic. It is... Let's put it this way. There's no story to it. There's no setting. It's just people arguing. That's it. It's just, I think, what's his name? Dark Side Royalty Lore, I believe. Joker. He said it best in the fact that it literally is a situation where you just see talking heads over and over and over again. There's some
Just make your way inside.
stupid battle between Osiris and Saint 14 that doesn't go anywhere and really just doesn't make any sense. Oh, really? That happens out on the PC a lot? I bet. Oh, man. The people playing Destiny 2 on PC, I almost feel... I feel like you got the worst of the deal. Because I feel like if they put this little bit of work into Destiny 2 on console and already had so much to work off of, the PC version has to be just
You were right about the Taken.
terrible.
I expected as much.
No.
Don't let them distract you from finding the Genesis mine.
Yeah, interesting. Not entirely interesting. Oh, man. Geronimo! This gun's really fun. I thought the Warframe comics were actually pretty cool myself. You know, like they tell a story. They actually tell something that's going on versus it's all setting. It's all like narrative with Bungie stuff. It's all fluff. They're desperately trying to do these like interpersonal relationships with people, but unfortunately, like the scene doesn't ask for that. Like, if everything was dying and dead and the whole world was crashing down, like the last thing that you'd be doing is like arguing constantly. Like you would get to a point where you were just like, look, we got to pull this shit together because this is it. This is the last city. We're the last of everything, you know, like quit arguing. But no. Oh, Brother Vance, they ruined Brother Vance. They ruined Brother Vance. Like, how could they do that? He was like this mystic out in the reef, and they made him into just a disgusting fanboy? It's rough. It's rough. Geronimo! Crap. Keep trying to go for shade step. It's not working. Oh my, you're a big guy. Nope. Nope. Ugh. I don't know why Bungie just didn't pick this up. I wish they did. I'm forgetting I have this thing. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful. Look how neat that is. And it's wasted. I mean, I could sit there. What's my favorite Warframe? My favorite Warframe, like, overall, just to, like, I just think he's awesome, is probably Harrow. But my favorite Warframe to play is going to be Saren or Frost. Yes, not Limbo. That one is for certain. It's definitely not Limbo. Like, you Limbo players, I tip my hat to you right now. I do, because I don't know how you do it. Who knows? Who knows where Airborne is? That's a good question. Where did Airborne go? Where did Airborne go? Where did Ava Levante go? Did, like, Tess kill her so that she could take all of her shaders and put them in Eververse? Is that what happened? I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Old Ava Levante. They even talk about her in the tower. That's the worst part. It's almost as if this game, like, knows they're screwing us. Oh. Oh, crap. Nothing. Got any of the good stuff. Bitch. Really? You don't say. Okay. Need that shield. I can get it. Thank you. Where's this guy? Oh, okay. I love Oberon too. So guys, can someone explain to me the correct way to use Ash, because I'm not very good with him.
Because he is on IO and I am not.
And the variety in Warframe is just insane, especially considering what I'm playing right now. Like, there's 3 subclasses. Sure there is. They don't feel much different from each other though. I mean, they basically are the same thing, just a little bit slightly different super, you know. Whereas with Warframe, I mean, like, every single frame is completely unique. Well, not completely unique, but most of them are very unique.
Fewer than 5 of his own books on the Pyramidion, and I'm not sure which I can use to guide you. Existential Tyranny Part 1.
Who's one of the lore quests?
Negation and Identity, Vex Transformation.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
This is why
Area, I know what you're saying. Because it's like, that's the person that's done all of the cinematic quests up to that point, so you want to keep it nice and uniform. I get you. Yeah. And yes, I actually run, for most of the quests, I ran either, let's see, who would have been, oh, there's dogs. It would have been either Frost, hold on. Sorry, I had to get the puppies all back in a row there for a second. Well, let me just kill a bunch of these dudes right here. But how? Oh man, my little thing missed mightily right there. Covert leaf out. I love how most of the discussion in this Destiny thing is about Warframe. It's good. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Understand, guys, that these streams that I'm doing are also kind of a litmus test on what you as the, you know, what you guys want to see. So if we get to a point where, like I said, Destiny's just not doing it for people, then we may have to readjust. But I do appreciate you coming along with me today here.
Now be arriving on the shores of an
Too dependent. What do you mean by that, FT man?
Oh, not a pit?
Metal Sonic, that was awesome.
I mean, yes. Silly me.
And yes, Oberon is a great frame too. Oberon's just, what I love about Oberon is that they allowed him to be a frame that anybody can get pretty easily if you just play the game, and he really can do everything. You know, he can attack, he can save your life. Huge.
Make it suffer. And it is not a metaphor.
Hey, Bradatron, how are you? Bradatron, I'm sorry. Let's see some Monster Hunter. Ooh, would you now? Who here has played Monster Hunter? Oh, cool. I'm glad. Well, I mean, I was passionate about Destiny for a long time. I'm passionate about getting pissed about Destiny now. Does that count? And then the augment that Oberon has that you can get just makes that particular thing even more impressive. Those augments, that's another thing in Warframe. I love the augments that you can get from the syndicates. Those are just like such a great idea. You know, just something that can completely change an ability just because you're using a mod. You know, how it functions. And another thing, Destiny can take. There's almost too many things to really take into consideration. Is there a guy behind me? Where is this dude? Okay. Yep. Phoenix Renewal, the one that insta-res you, is just amazing. And again, it just completely changes that particular ability. Well, boycotting Destiny for Warframe actually isn't a bad thing. I'm gonna go right out and tell you that again. I think I've mentioned a couple times now, but if it weren't for the clan and it weren't for the channel, I just don't see much of a reason to... Oh! Ow. That hurt. No. Excuse me. I just don't see much of a reason to play it outside of this now. Will you stop coming after me? What did I ever do to you? Oh, hey, buddy. Where'd you come from? What? What? Nidus is a god frame. Sexiest frame is sad. Woo! You know what? What's crazy is that I don't know why, but for some reason, it seems like my game has been like glitching in a really odd way that takes all the Warframe's heads off and all their like armor and stuff and like little, I don't know, just little details. And so like I get to actually see what Saren's bum looks like. I'm gonna tell you something. It's nice. That's what I want to say. Oh, good point. Yeah, I know. Nidus could use some augments, huh? I didn't even think about that. That's one. He's not even a frame that really has. Oh, chromatic blade augment is ridiculous. Let's go a little further than that. Let's talk about how insanely ridiculous Exalted Blade is just on its own. It's one thing to use your abilities. It's another thing to be able to just turn on an ability at the beginning of a mission and never, ever, ever shut it off. That's a good point with Atlas. Like he doesn't really have a neck. Clem is the best in Warframe. Did anybody watch that the award show just recently for Warframe where it was like the best ongoing game at the Video Game Awards, and like the Warframe community like completely took over the chat, and it was just all Clem. It was great. See, now Shane, I gotta say something about the Octavia augment. Are you sure she needs one? I mean, she is so powerful. Octavia is insanely powerful, like ridiculously powerful. She can do everything. Ooh, I do like that. Give Nidus an augment that allows him to turn enemies killed by maggots into infested allies. How cool would that be? Like to actually watch them transform, too. That is a good one. And yes, DE totally got robbed. I think Overwatch won the game? Like, I don't even know how they're technically allowed in the running for that. Warframe absolutely does the power fantasy right. Hey, look, it's the same freaking strike. God! Alright, so something seriously messed up with this game. Almost every strike that I've done now, I've started out like...
Time for me to step out.
Oh, this is so weird.
I leave it to you.
Bungie, please fix your game. This is embarrassing.
Item the first.
Strike's been started for a while.
It's embarrassing.
We need to get further into the base. If I can access their network...
Like I said, and when it comes to... When we're talking about Octavia, she's incredible.
I think they were waiting for us this time.
Sometimes the best way
I deal with the Virulence one either, but both things could be very cool. Nidus has all kinds of augments that he could go that could really be useful for him. And he's so balanced. This kid is so awesome to begin with. Now I could definitely see some augments on Nidus. Okay, guys. So what augment would you put onto Octavia? Like, what does she need? Are you talking about Warframe whenever it launched? Because like so the way I see it with Warframe, and I would be like willing to give them way more of a pass during launches, because it was like I look at the Warframe in itself as a labor of love. You know, you can see they started out with nothing. That guy just glitched right through there. Pretty cool. They started out with very little, and it was like they had an idea, and they got enough people together to, you know, to believe in that idea. And now, if you were willing to put the time in and stick it out, like, you get this thing that's there now, this game it's amazing. It's just really good. It's just really good. It's really fun.
Great. Grab it and
elemental damage.
Wow. Blanche, man. Take the radioactive thing, put an explodey place. There's your plan.
I've heard worse.
The poor Toncore. I didn't get to ever see the Toncore in its most powerful form, so to say anything, I would be speaking without a good understanding of what I'd be talking about. But I have heard that it was amazing. So if you guys want to do the F, please feel free. I think it's only right.
Nice work. That should take care of the barrier.
Alright. Let's see. This worked last time. Let's see what it looks like. This. More dudes this time. Get out of there. Her mallet could last longer with every kill, or extend the range of her mallet. I mean, I realize in this game that you can talk about incredible power like that, and not, but oh my God, she would be so broken. I like that. Don't get me wrong. I like all the broken stuff. There's tons of broken things in Warframe, and they're the best parts of the game.
Insecure men tend to surround themselves with others like them.
Kate, anything to add?
Nope, she's totally right. Which is
For
why
her roller that stops. Okay, yeah, I could see maybe an augment for the
Well,
resonator, because that's
yeah, funny story about the
that's the only part of her kit that I'm not like super excited about. But if you do get into a bind, you know, especially if you're in a survival or a defense or something, and stuff just getting out of control, you can always toss that thing out there and you're ready to roll again. She's like one of the most unique frames, and she's got so many good things about her. No. Yes. If everything's broken, then nothing's broken.
We're coming for you, Zahn.
I'm down with fun over balance. I am totally down with fun over balance.
Well, it wouldn't be a red.
I mean, again, there's certain things that when you're playing in Warframe, you just sit back and watch. Like, it is funny. Like, you can literally get in a situation with Octavia where you can get the most kills in the match by far, and the entire time just keep teabagging and dancing. You know, that little shake she does, a little hip shake. Did I punch that guy? Oh, I'm so dead. Well, see that I feel like that can happen with Octavia. Like, Octavia is the type of frame that can literally, you can just sit back and let her do all the work, and you don't do anything. Like, at all. I mean, if you want to give her a little bit of energy from, you know, now and again, that's nice. You know, that's a decent thing for you to do. But, yeah, she can't do his heal. That's right. Oh my God. Allows her ball to ref, so that'd be it. That would actually be a really cool augment. Would anybody use anybody but Octavia if they came out with an augment that basically allowed for her resonator ball to res people? Did anybody catch my song that I made for Octavia in one of the, it was, I think, our stream last weekend? I thought I did a pretty good one, actually. It doesn't hurt your ears that much. It's actually kind of like already based upon her current song. It's just like rock. Oh wow, I think I just swallowed that rocket. Thank you for the res, sir. One second here. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me. I can't remember what is her passive again. Oh, man. You got bumped by that stupid tank there. Please mantle. Nice. Okay. Make a mana chord using a Destiny song. Okay, I mean, I could try. The problem is, anybody that's... Oh, thank you, Devon. The problem is they don't give you all the notes. I just wish that was one thing I would really like with Octavia, is to give you more notes to play with. Because you could make some awesome stuff. When you teabag to the rhythm, yes. I'd be cool with that. I know Ash is your dude, Justin, and I'll be honest, like I said, more power to you, because I can't even play. I can't play him.
Sun is here.
And the flame turret. Is he using the flame turret?
Yes.
Chocobo song on Octavia. Nice. Maybe that's what we'll have to do one of these streams here, is we'll just play Octavia the whole time, and we can just, as a group of us, just kind of come up with different songs and stuff. I think that'd be kind of fun. See how they work. Ash does have one of the best Tenzin skins. There's a bunch of those. Oh man, there's so many good ones. Justin, I'd be happy to help you with the song. It's the main thing with Octavia is making a song that is both something that isn't like a detriment to all your other players' ears, but at the same time can min-max abilities. And for me, I at least have to have one bar, one measure, where I literally have the her 3 like a spammable thing, so that if I am having problems getting invisible or something like that, that there's ones. Yeah, it's the same thing in Warframe. Yep. You know that I can just sit there and like literally spam my crouch button and get the teabag whenever I need it to, like if all else fails. So that's how I have my song built. I have it 3/4 of the song has like a meaning to it, like an actual purpose, and the last quarter is just a spammable area that if I get into a point where I need to go invisible or I need to get additional multi-shot, that I don't have to sit there and try to hit it by the beat so much. I can just spam and usually get a lot out of it. Like a snowball. How that snowball hit that guy in the foot. Where'd this guy go? Cool. Alright, we'll just... Octavia party! Yeah, we could... Oh, you know, we should do a survival with 4 Octavians. I mean, that would be fairly simple, I would think. But it would be fun. Anybody down for that? That's not a bad way to go, Dragon Maker. I mean, I think everybody has to play Octavia their own way, because she's not complicated, but I think that if you start trying to get too in depth with what she does and you're not focusing enough on the actual, like, you know, what's happening in game, yeah, it's going to be a problem. You're better off just coming up with something that you enjoy, something that you can easily get down. So if you do have your little parts that you want to do, like I said, like for me, there's that one section there. I have to spam it, because I know that sometimes I just get in like a stressful situation that I can't just sit there and try to focus on the beat per se to get me invisible. I need to be able to just look around, but at the same time, be able to get invisible, or be able to get that multi-shot, or whatever I want to do. Threw it under him. Sidearm action. Ah, I missed it. What did he just shoot me? All right. Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. You can't do it the whole time. You gotta respect. Playing Octavia has the same type of thing as playing Limbo. Like, you have to respect the other players in the game as well for what you're going to be putting them through. So if you want to be a good player, at least a good team player, that's why I kind of feel like you almost have to be willing to put a couple minutes into that song just to make sure that you're not making everybody else's ears bleed. Maybe that's just me. I mean, how stupid is that? Seriously. A snowball? Why does the snowball hurt? You're thinking it would be boring, but maybe what we can do is make a challenge like 4 Octavias, no weapons. Other Destiny YouTubers. I'll tell you something. I don't like it. I don't like how a lot of them are handling it. I don't. I don't like how they've handled it from the very beginning. And I do understand that. Now, keep in mind, I get that these people have made their life. They're living off of Destiny, so it makes sense for them to, you know, have a little bit more invested and maybe give that Destiny the benefit of the doubt. But I feel like their life is based upon the people in their community, their subs. So if you're not staying true to those people, nothing else matters. And if you're going to sit there and actively say that, like, Destiny's okay, that there's not legitimate issues, or even worse, this is the one that I hear the most. It really bugs me. Something will come out, something will happen, and immediately, like, a ton of Destiny YouTubers, I've seen at least, will go and say something to the effect of, "Oh, well, you can tell they're gonna change this. This is how this is obviously gonna go down in the future. Like, this is gonna be changed, obviously." And it's like, why do you think that? Nothing that they've done up to this point has actually said that they're going to do that. So why are you trying to give your community false hope as to what the game might have? Call the game for what it is. If it's good, people will play it, and it won't be a problem. If it's bad, well, people won't play it, and it will be a problem, kind of like what we have here. Yes, there is that option, but I like listening to other people's songs and Warframe, like, especially when you come on and play Octavia. Like, that's one of the coolest things is you get to see if anybody took the time to actually make something up. And yes, there's been some ones that I've heard that are just pure trash and just should not ever see the light of day, but at least they gave it a shot. Now, here's an interesting thing, though. I will tell you that I get more invites into games or people staying in games with me when I'm playing Octavia. Like, I don't know if it's just because of the fact that I'm playing Octavia. I don't know if people think that the song that I'm using is at least, you know, decent enough to the point where their ears aren't bleeding, but I'll be playing a mission with Octavia. People will stay in longer. People will stay in my party longer if I want to go do something else after the, you know, once I'm done with that mission. Like, if I go to something else and they can see that I still have Octavia on, people will stay with me with that in that party. Well, Joker's always been telling the truth, Tyler. I mean, I haven't seen one situation where Joker has, what I would say, towed the company line. I watch him too. I think he's fantastic. You know, I like his content. It's very fun, and he's calling stuff out. BBK, yeah, that's another one. I just saw he just did a video today, I believe, just kind of discussing that a little bit further. Oh, guys, I can't make you go through this stupid. This sucks. I'm so tired of them. You play the same strikes over and over and over and over again. It's ridiculous. Let's go back to the tower and see what kind of crap we got. But yeah, as far as the Destiny YouTubers that are actually coming out and talking about this game, I mean, I think everybody, to some extent, is saying something about it. Because I think that everybody's communities are pretty much getting back to them and saying, "Hey, look, you know what's up. You can obviously, yeah, Yongye is really good for Destiny. He's been on this from the beginning. I have never done Law of Retribution. If people want to help me out through that, I'd be down with that, by the way. We could definitely get a stream together. We could definitely do a stream together. We get how many? You can have 8 people in Law of Retribution, right? I don't even know. I mean, I would be if everybody's in on it and wants to play, and we can get 8 people from the community to come together and play here. I'd be totally in, and I would even do my due diligence as to figure out how to do it, because I currently don't know. It's one of the areas in Warframe that I haven't even addressed, because most of the people I play with, like a smaller group of people, 2-3 people at a time. What's wrong with... I don't think there's anything wrong with repetitive content. I think you need to have a reason to do the repetitive content. Destiny 1 was the most repetitive game I've ever played, and yet I found a reason almost every day to come and load the game up and play and do the same strikes and do the same... everything. I play on Xbox, so if you guys are on Xbox, and if you're interested in doing this, if everybody's in, I'm gonna need it. I need to have my team, because I can't show up there next Saturday morning and not have my whole team to do this. So if we're doing it, I need to make sure that everybody's gonna be there to do it. That sucks anymore. But if we want to do LOR next Saturday, I would actually I'd be down for that if that's what you guys want to do. Like I said, you're going to be Sherpering me through it. I mean, that's the reality of the thing. But let's go over to this bitch right here and see what she has. Well, no, it wouldn't be today. It'd be next Saturday. It's going to be Saturday at... if we end up doing this, it will be Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So... Okay. The only thing that I ask from you guys, too, is... look at that helmet. God, it's ugly as fuck. The only thing I ask is that you have if you're going to be in, if you're coming and ready to play next Saturday, just have a modicum of an idea of what you're doing. For everybody here, for everybody. I will definitely, even though I've never done it at all, I've not even looked into it. If we're in for it next Saturday, I will learn everything I possibly can to be ready for it. Okay, so is this going to be a go then next week? I'm excited. I've never done a raid. I've never done a raid in Warframe. I'm excited. Oh, that's going to be so cool.
Come see me again, Guardian.
Name, Guardian.
Yeah, for next week at least. Let's do LOR, and then if we can get through it just fine with little issue, maybe the following week we'll do Jordas Verdict. Oh, that's right, we're doing Prodman. Yeah, that's right, we got Prodman next week. Can we do both? I am not on PC, FT man. Not yet, at least. I want to get one of those arcanes. 329. Screw you, man. Do we have all our best stuff on? No, I don't think we do. Yeah, let's throw this on. They say that this doesn't matter, but I think it's a total lie. I highly doubt that they actually coded this well enough. Everything's 334. All right. All right, you
Stay
bald
strong.
blue bastard.
Good. You're back.
Zavala, did you know you gave me that exact same thing last week? Did you know that you gave me that exact thing? Where's the other one at? Oh, I hate you. I hate your face. That's what I was thinking. Maybe we can do both.
Stay strong, Titan.
Well, Eldrad, you have a whole week, buddy.
Watching you makes me wish I could compete in the Crucible again myself.
Hey, Ken, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything that Bungie didn't do to themselves. You know, I'm playing their game. I'm playing it. The problem is, unfortunately, that it has... Yeah, I do have a positive outlook. Not on the game, mind you, but I know freaking gun. This is what they did. And I feel like when I play this game, I need to be calling it out all the time. You want to play, Face? There's Cold Heart. Well, that's the first time I've had that drop.
Come back anytime.
I'm down. Like I said, I think we should do both of them. We'll just do an extra long stream next Saturday. You know, we'll do Prodman, or maybe we'll do the raid first, and then we'll take whoever wants to do Prodman after the fact and do that. Is that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub? It is. I like all your Dawning armor. How much did you pay for that?
No word from Fenchurch today.
I have some bad news. Dead Orbit is cutting back our herd.
Oh my god, my clan leader from Warframe is actually playing Destiny. I can't believe it. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
There is hope for humanity yet.
What would make me totally quit Destiny? If it stays like it is right now. If it stays exactly like it is right now, with how they have the game, with how they have the progression, with how they have ghosts and all this other crap that's worth something, sitting behind this jerk. If that doesn't change, if they don't make the game a little bit more rewarding for the time that they apparently want me to play it. I don't know. Do they want me to play it? I can't tell. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want. I'm good. Let's. Oh, here we go. Let's see how we're gonna get screwed with this exotic right here. What are my void ones? Here, let me put that with my collection of sweet businesses that I have. I don't even... Blah. Blah. Did somebody want to join in? I'm gonna probably play for just a little bit longer here, maybe another half an hour. But if any of you guys want to join in, I've got a couple strikes yet. I did a terrorless capture. It was wonderful.
I have good news. New monarchy's gonna invest.
Oh wow! So they like completely like destroyed Claudia Black. Yeah, that's nice. If I was her, like I don't know if I'd put Tess Everest on my resume anymore. You know, they have the Crimson event coming up. That's always excuse me. That's always been a real treat. The Crimson event, the Crimson Days. Ugh.
Well, Titan, let's see what we have here.
Garbage, 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 garbage. 765 isn't bad.
I have some bad news. Dead Orbit is cutting back our funding.
Oh. Guys, have you noticed an improvement in the stream today by any chance? I went out and I bought Cat 7 cables. And I'm hoping that actually it benefited the stream. Ooh. There we go. So what do we have to do for this stupid... What's the flashpoint? IO. Oh, God. Like probably one of the worst ones. We'll do it nice and easy here. At least on these things I can sit there and talk to you guys and not have to completely focus entirely on the game. Okay. Oh, eating. Okay, okay. I'm actually now pretty excited about next week. That's gonna be great. I never thought that we'd be doing the raid. That's like so cool. Real talk, guys. A lot of people watch the stream today. Okay, a lot of people watch the stream. So my question to you is this something that you want me to keep doing? This Destiny stream? I mean, again, a lot of the Destiny stream, as it was mentioned earlier, is probably going to be me kind of like bashing it. So I guess if you're enjoying that, that's something. I don't feel bad about that one bit because, again, as I said before, I feel like this game... This game put itself in this spot. I didn't do this, but I'm damn well gonna talk about it. Yes, yes, Tyler, absolutely. Every time I play this game, I get mad. I get emotional. Like almost every single time I put this game in, I can't do it without sitting there and bitching and moaning about tons of stuff. And so I bitch and moan a lot. I think you guys can tell that. And if you've watched my videos, you know I like to complain. And for this game to be something that was like the successor to something that I made a daily activity, a daily routine, and like if I was talking to Bungie right now, if I was speaking to the head up of Bungie, if I got that opportunity, the conversation would go something like this. I would say to them, say, excuse me, like, who do you think you are? Like, what did you do here? Why, who decided that this was a good idea? That you could just take something that, like, you put this thing out here and you made it so that, all my friends and I came together and we had this wonderful thing where we really enjoyed ourselves. It was like a weekly thing where, every Tuesday or whatever, everybody would just jump on and get playing. And so we'd have to be able to talk about life and talk about other things. And we had a huge community and just enjoyed the heck out of it, And you had everybody's money. And like, how dare you put something out like this? It's this disgusting. You disgust me.
Oh, are these your
You get that?
So sorry. Really?
Well, you're probably going to hear a lot of the shit talk because, as you guys can tell, I mean, I am very, very disappointed in this. Very, very disappointed. Just look at this. I don't even have to. Half the time you just sit there and, like, you know, you can run away from things if you want. Like in Warframe, if I was this close to enemies like that, I'm dead. I can't be this nonchalant. Not to mention they're going to chase me everywhere too. Where these enemies just like, they basically just decide after you go a certain distance, someone else will grab him. He'll be fine. Oh, you son of a bee. I love being on the Warframe bandwagon. I love Warframe. It's such a fun game. I'm so glad. It's weird because in one way, you know, you sit there and I hate Destiny. I hate Bungie for doing what they do. But let's be real about it. If Destiny would have come out with some great thing, like there's a chance that I might not have like got as far in Warframe to like the point where I just love the game so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of, if it weren't for the lull there, I might not have ever found Warframe. So I can't completely get mad at Destiny for being a big shitbag, you know, garbage game. Oh, area. I mean, the story in Destiny 2 is so comically stupid. I can barely handle it. It's so full of plot MacGuffins. I can't even begin to describe how disappointing that whole thing is. Like, why did you take away our light for a mission? Was it really worth it? There's still I still don't feel like there's any urgency into what I'm doing. Destiny 2 is, I feel, it's the single greatest thing to happen to Warframe, in my personal opinion. Yeah, Russell, that's right. I used to like Xur too. I actually used to do videos on Xur. Prior to you guys joining me here just recently, I can tell you that the Xur videos were one of the videos that did the best for me. I mean, I only had like 50, like 60, 70 subs at the time. But like, I enjoyed like going up to Xur, seeing what he had, seeing what the roles were on the stuff that he had. You know, because that was the thing. If it had bad stats, it might be a good exotic, but still there was that level that you went back to and said, oh, okay, you know, maybe I don't want, maybe I'm going to wait for this one. Or maybe I want to re-roll it with exotic shards. Someone mentioned that earlier. Why did they get rid of that? No, you know, I love Barukatir, by the way. Barukatir is everything that Xur used to be. Not to mention, I will say this too. The story that they actually put through for Burrow is in regards to the Anaris Warframe quest. It's really a pretty story. Like, it's a nice story. There's emotion there. Like, I felt something. Whenever, you know, like when he's talking about at the end, like about Anaris and like kind of opening up to the player. Whereas, like before that, he was just a vendor. Can I throw this snowball at anybody? How am I going to do my things if there's no public events, Bungie? How am I going to do my things if there's no public events? God. Hey, thank you, Scope. Appreciate that. Would you guys want me to do Burrow videos? I mean, that's something that I would be willing to do. I think I could contribute there. And one thing I've noticed too with a lot of Warframe, excuse me, with the Warframe YouTubers that's different from the Destiny YouTubers is when Xur videos come out, they come out within like half an hour of the time that he's available. At least that's how it used to be. Like when Xur came out, like literally I'd have my video done within a total hour of the time that I got to see him. And I'd be there the minute that he showed up. Now it seems to me, and I could be wrong on this, but like there's a little bit of a lull time between when Burrow shows up now and like when I first start seeing a couple videos. So if you guys want that, if you would like some Burrow, okay, then Burrow videos it'll be. I think I can do that one pretty easy. Well, next Friday, get ready for one, because we will do one.
Asher, guess what we did?
Guess what we did, Asher. Asher, you just disgusting. What is that?
Yes. How'd you know? From the unbearable racket. My head.
You know what the best part is when I first went to Burrow, I had no clue what the heck he even was. You know, like it was just looking, to me, it was like another vendor, you know, so I'm sitting there looking like, wow, some of this stuff is like really cool that he's got. So I've never really went into any Burrow with that much of an expectation, but then like after a couple weeks, I'll tell you, I found this out recently that I guess consoles are what? Are we 2 weeks behind, 2 rotations behind PC? Is that what it is? Well, Scope, you need to go and get yourself... Well, you don't have to get an Xbox. If you're on... If you guys are on PC, like I said, I just... or I guess you don't know this yet, but in my last stream I mentioned that I just bought my first gaming PC. So as soon as it comes in and I get it all hooked up and everything together, I'm going to be downloading Warframe. And I'm going to be... not just playing on Xbox, but also on PC. I'll try to keep it, you know, I'll just try to keep it, maybe 1 week I'll play on PC, 1 week I play on Xbox. PlayStation guys, I apologize, but I don't know if I can do all 3. That's just, it's really hard. PC. Yeah, I usually buy all of their stuff when it comes. 3, okay, 3 trader visits behind. 6 weeks. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm not even playing. I'm reading your stuff right now. Just oh, need that. Okay, so I always sit there and go and watch the PC ones to see how badly one group is getting screwed over the other one. That big ass shield. Shield. You want to go epic 1v1? I'll epic 1v1. Come over here. This snowball. Yeah, what about that snowball? Oh god, he's gonna kill me. Nope, don't you do it. Yeah. This chat is all about Warframe. Oh, thanks for the legendary. So excited. Is that a public event finally? Oh, yay. Or not. Oh. Oh my. Here we go. Didn't I just do this exact... Oh, dude. See, like, this is another thing. Come on with this. If you're going to do flashpoints, then you have to make the public event spawn. On Earth, there's literally a public event every 30 seconds. Every other planet, it takes forever. Nice grenade. Fucking almost hit him. Bitch. When I do my farming, it's always on a defense mission, and I'm using Octavia or Saren or Frost. And I honestly, like, a lot of people might get mad at me the way I play, but I just try to make the mission go as fast as possible. Like, I just try to get as many kills. I don't care who gets the kills, but I'm going for kills. So if we can get those defenses done nice and quick, you know, you can sometimes get 4 or 5 different prime parts out of one thing. I'm on. Oh, okay. 2018. Well, first of all, this Monster Hunter has me like very much intrigued. Other games in 2018 that I'm really looking forward to. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know anymore what the game is. Like, I don't understand. Now I'm not just looking at games from the aspect of, does that look like a cool game? 2017 showed me that I need to also look at the company that's making the game. Because if they're making a game, then... Oh, that's nice. That's pretty nice. Yeah. But if like EA's making a game, perfect example was Anthem. I was like completely excited about Anthem until... Is this public event ever going to start? Until, you know, all this stuff happened with Battlefield. And now, whereas not, you know, 5-6 months ago, I would have probably pre-ordered Anthem and not thought twice about it. Now I know I'm not. I don't care what they do. There's nothing that's going to happen. Yeah, I would do flashpoints on... I would do just... If I was a developer of Destiny with these flashpoints, I would say do public events. It doesn't matter where they're at. The reason why they're not doing it that way is because I don't think that they have enough of a player base, and then people would be scattered all over the place, and you'd have more problems actually getting like heroic events done because, you know, you'd have some people be on Earth, some people be on Io, some people be on Titan. Oh, Relic Run stream? You guys be into that? Okay. 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 Like that. Well, just here's a good rule of thumb. When it comes to the gaming industry, if you're thinking that they're screwing you over, they probably are. You probably have it right. And it's not your problem, it's their problem. You know, you could be wrong. But I also think that the industry has earned this little moniker, this little title now. You know? Didn't we just do this? I'm telling you. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Disgusting for a game to sit there and charge you $60 or more, and then that's still not be enough to the point where they're also giving you like a garbage game in return. Like, if you make the game worthwhile and fun and something that people want to like do all the time, a lot of people will allow you to kind of maybe not necessarily... Wow, what am I doing? I'm just sitting there talking to you guys. I'm sorry. It will allow you to get away with a lot of things that you probably wouldn't have been able to get away with. I feel like if they would have made a satisfying endgame to Destiny 2, and you know, a satisfying method of getting weapons and making it, you know, enjoyable with the repetitive nature of the game, it wouldn't have mattered what they did with Eververse. No one would be complaining. Yeah, that's true. And Bar, that's the one game that we do all know will be definitely good in 2018 is going to be Warframe. Everything past that, you just don't know. I'm really interested to see where this story's going to go with Warframe, because again, they're taking it, they're just bringing it up another level. Hello. I do know about the Umbra, and I have my own kind of like theory about the Umbra, which I'm going to try to put into a video for you guys, but now again, you know, this is kind of from a lore noob, so I don't know everything. I can only read so much without, you know, actually completely experiencing it. So I'm gonna do my best. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for Korra. I want another Warframe. I want one that actually has its own summonable Kavat. That sounds like a good time to me. Furthermore, I would love for my current Kavat to have a playmate out on the battlefield. I really feel like that would be a solid thing. Yeah. Yeah, No Man's Sky was an interesting thing for the gaming industry. There's no two ways around it. And that wasn't even done by like a, you know, like a major company. It was, you know, it seemed to me like that one was more so a situation where I guess they bit off more than they could chew. Their eyes were a little bit bigger than their stomachs, if you will. I don't know. Just don't know.
You hear that, Asher? Another spire falls. Much as it pains me to say it, I predicted you would succeed.
All right, give me that sweet 2 tokens in a blue. I know, I saw that. What's it called? VK7, right? Or Venari? Vitari? Yeah. Okay. So that was where I was going with it there. See, I did hear a little bit of that story, and like again, one of the things I thought was so interesting was like, and this is gonna sound really stupid probably, but there's a part in that the story for VK7 where the Sigor or whatever his name is, like his voice cracks, like he's about to cry at one point in the story whenever he talks about like it was the last time that he was ever going to get to see VK7, and like to me, like that much, that's the thing that Destiny is missing. Like that feeling, that like that immersiveness, to where it's like, you know, when things happen in the Warframe story, you feel it. Like when the second dream happened, and the, you know, the whole reveal at the end there happened, and for me, like if it was a different day, a tear could have come to my eye. You hear what I'm saying here? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, it was that good. The music hit at the exact perfect time, and just like everything about it, it like revealed so much about you as a player, and it just made the game like so much more deep in that one singular moment. And then you could say the same thing about War Within. VK7 is the like a test subject that was uncovered by these Corpus engineers or scientists or something, and it was like a much larger Kavat than they'd ever seen before, and this Kavat also had tendencies where it understood what was going on. It was a much smarter being than anything anybody gave it credit for. It would understand the schedules of the people that are coming to feed it and whatnot, so that it could try to figure out a way basically to escape, because, you know, it's kind of like a specimen for all intents and purposes. So, like, it really kind of gave that particular Kavat, like, a lot of depth. Like, I'm expecting this Kavat to do stuff, not just go and kill things. Like, I want this Kavat to have really good AI. You know, and just do some crazy stuff that you don't typically see from a Kavat. I think it's going to be the next prime frame is probably going to be Zephyr, just because I think that wasn't she supposed to be this one anyhow. Like, for a lot of people, they expected Zephyr to be the next rework, next prime, and I think she needs it. I still think that her first and second ability should be together. I don't understand how the one doesn't work without the other. Like, I guess you could use the first as like kind of a oh shit thing, right? Where you know, you're in trouble and you can just fly straight up into the air. I guess that works. But I feel like the second portion of that, the coming down and the impact, should be the other end of the ability. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Oh my god. Here we go. I'm gonna get some help from Fish King.
As long as you can
No.
take it far, far away from me.
Oh. Now, there's a really good chance you guys are going to see me rage out here, because this particular public event is probably my most hated, mainly because I hate getting killed with stuff dropping on me from just nowhere. That is such a bullshit mechanic. It's so stupid. Like, I hate that. It's just another dumb mechanic to try to basically keep you from doing damage. Same thing as all the other bosses. They all have this like mechanic to them that like they push you away. Instead of trying to actively try to kill you, they push you. I don't get that. Not to mention I don't have a rocket, so I'm screwed there whenever I try to take down the... Oh man, you know. Oh, right now? I don't know if it would be toxic, because I feel like there'd be a lot of people coming together like how we are right now. And talking just like this. It would be toxic towards Bungie. Like, it'd be really toxic towards the game. But I feel like so many people now basically have like a good idea of what this game is and what it's going to be. Stop it. Stupid crap. I mean, there's no way I'm going to pull this down myself. I'd be okay with changing her second. I hate you. I hate you, game. I don't know if Ballas is going to have a connection with us, you know? I mean, if anything, it's probably going to be more so with Lotus. That's another thing in the Warframe lore that's so cool. There's like there's multiple factions in the game that are actually warring against each other versus just against us. Like, I hate to say it, I keep going back to Destiny, but like, you'll see enemies in the game shooting against each other from different factions, but then as soon as they see you, they'll literally turn towards you and go after you. And it's like they like forget that they were fighting each other. Where it's like in Warframe, it's a little bit different. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's more realistic. I'm gonna screw this one up. I'm used to having more than one Guardian with me. Don't you kill me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. close. All right, Archlito, thank you for coming. I appreciate you joining me here. Take care of the little ones. They are obviously the most important thing. Have a good Sunday. Oh. Where is that? Where's that thing? What do I got? 18 seconds. I'm not going to do it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I just hate it. Well, I shot the ship down. Not bad for one player. Oh man. I think I don't know what Bungie's going to do right here, because I think they have a real issue on their hands right now in the fact that I don't know if I'm Bungie, I don't know what to do next. Do you decide to, one, keep going with Destiny 2 and trying to make it better, but go away from the model that you've already said to Activision that you're going to use? Or do you scrap Destiny 2, move on to Destiny 3, and promise your fan base or your player base that you're going to be doing this to make the game better, but then take the risk of not having people come back for Destiny 3 because of what they got in Destiny 2? And so if you're Bungie and you actually, like, say there's a whole new what do you call it, management team that comes in, because this management team is obviously incredibly incompetent, and they get a new group in there ready to roll, what direction do you take it in? Oh yeah, we're live. I do too. I mean, again, I think that the way that they do everything in Warframe is they've really done the enemy factions better. They've put together a system that makes syndicates worthwhile and actually has consequences, that you have to think about things versus just blindly pledging to some group, just for, like, say, one weapon or something like that. I mean, like, when you do your syndicates, it's a real thing that you have to consider, because it's going to take you a while to get other mods and all that other stuff. So, like, that comes into play. Like, I like how the enemies are. I even like the infested enemies. I think that's a really good way that they did it. Like, just a group that is hell-bent on just killing. They have no... I'll be streaming for probably another couple minutes. I was actually just trying to get to the end of my flashpoints here, but I've been having such a good time talking with you guys that it's probably not going to be too much longer, though.
With that blasted rock-shaking, concentration-shattering machinery.
Yeah, like that's such another cool thing, like just the companions, and the fact that they took, like, one of the frames and they allowed you to change one of your companions up to mimic that. Like, there's just so many things in Warframe. It's like you can tell that the people that are making the game play the game and are just like, they'd be like us together playing and just sitting there and spitballing ideas to each other. Oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. Oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. And the difference is that they actually put it into the game after the fact,
A nice lander sitting all alone out here.
I mean, how can you go wrong there?
As long as you can take it far, far away from me.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, they really do need to... They need to do something big with Eververse. If they're not going to remove Eververse, then they better do something, to show the people we actually hear you, versus just what they normally do, which is just talk, don't actually have any real actions other than saying, we're working on this, we have an idea for this. Like, does anybody else remember? Oh, gee, yeah. No, Destiny, there's no way Destiny could even touch Warframe at this point. Does anybody remember whenever there was a line that came out that Luke Smith was talking about how people would ask, well, you know, how are you going to make your 7th and 8th better devils worth having? You know, and he's like, oh, that's something that, you know, we're really talking about. That was like at launch. So when exactly are we going to get the, you know, was Masterwork? Is that? It was the Masterworks. Your idea of what the fix was? Because you better go back to the drawing board, buddy. Hey, Strain. You know what I'm saying? You know, and again, that's... I go back to Warframe. You just look at it from the beginnings of the thing. I feel like Warframe had a much better chance of succeeding, basically because they were leveraging their own community.
Detonated vehicles.
You know, instead of them being, I'm the consumer, or I'm the producer, you're the consumer. This is the product, and you use it. They decided to go a different route and said something to the effect of, okay, here's the game. Let's play this together and just see 97%. Are you joking? Let's play this together and let's see if we can make a game that we all enjoy together. Right? We can appreciate that, Ken. I think that's one of the best parts about it. I like the fact that I've never... Hey, thank you. Justin, appreciate that. You know... Oh, I'm reading here for a second. And running around in circles. I like that... I like how much they've evolved, even like different things. Like, so you guys would probably have a better idea than me. Like, if we don't destroy the Baylor Fomorian, whatever, like, is there not going to be a Venus relay any longer? Because that's like my favorite relay. Yes, you're right, Mr. Stelios. That's true. They do think that we're stupid sheep. They prove it every single time they talk to us. Thanks for the loot. I don't think they do. I mean, again, now, someone was saying earlier in the stream that there are some dedicated persons that play this game on the regular. I'm just like, if they do, they picked some dudes, they picked some people, some dudes and some girls to basically, they said, okay, I just want to know that the game is playable. I just want to know that the game's playable. I don't care. I don't know if we stopped it or not. Unfortunately, I'm not able to aid the fight against the Fomorians right now, or the Baylor Fomorian, because of the fact that I'm playing this game. Where is this guy? Oh, is that what happens? No way to rebuild, destroy. Yes. I mean. Okay, so you... Okay. I get scared there. That's my favorite relay. I always go to Vesper. That's the one I go to. So I don't want that to go away. I feel like I'm going to have to... Luke Smith should be fired. Yes. Yes, I agree with that. I feel like I'm going to have to grind the Fomorian after this is over at some point here today, just so I can somehow attempt to keep my relay. And by the way, everybody, I just gotta say this: I did do the Fomorian last night, and I got the Imperator Vandal receiver to drop. Something I couldn't, that I didn't get to happen. This one again. Oh, no. And so I'm finally going to get my Imperator Vandal that I've been waiting on since the last time the Fomorian came out. It's already destroyed on PC. We can't allow that to happen on Xbox. We can't. We can't. Trillion. Oh, is it a lot of onks? Yeah. How do you join the Fomorian? It should be in Warframe. It should be on a little tab there, like on the first thing. And all you gotta do is just. What do you need? You need cryotic, omega isotopes. They drop on any mission that the event's happening around. I guess. What is this? So in this case, it'd be Venus. Tyler, that's a good question that I asked. Like, I don't understand it. When have you ever heard of a company that has a cash cow that doesn't want to do it, and then they're like, okay, we're not going to. They hire more people. Like, when you outpace yourself, you hire more folks. It helps everybody. It boosts the economy. That makes the game better. You get more revenue in the end. It's all perfect. Oh, did they? Okay. Oh, well, you just took all my fun away because I thought that I had done something special with my receiver. But I got it. That's all that matters. Finally. I think I have 10 blueprints and like 7 or 8 barrels. Ken, I only use the Amisha Arcwing. That is the Arcwing for me. It is an absolute tank. I don't know. I mean, like, seriously, there is a method that you literally can't die with it as long as you use your 1 and your 4 together. Like, you can't die. I'm like using the Force to try to play this game. But I'm actually finding that your comments in the chat section are much more entertaining than what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they go that route. They're willing to do some things that other games I don't think would try. Like, you know? The Zanuka Hunter. Did anybody get captured by Zanuka? Oh, I think, see, that's where I actually have been using the Fluctus rifle for the Archwing, and that thing is a blast. It's like having your Exalted Blade on an Archwing. So, like, that combination of Amisha's complete and utter invulnerability, and then add into the fact that I have that gun that seems to cut through a lot of stuff, man. That's a pretty good gun. Will you come here, you stupid thing? I'm playing like a complete spaz right now.
One more ship they won't see.
All right, good. Somebody else got it. Well, I can tell you that as soon as this thing gets done, yeah, kill this dude. You dead? Is there another one? Yep, I knew it. This guy would be here. And that's that. I was not present for the Tau Rigor stuff. I want to see the Stalker's Tenet form, but I don't think there is one anymore.
From the unbearable
Yeah, that's the Zanuka mission. Like I just saw that the other day. So now like I'm actually being hunted by Zanuka, and I think I really want to let him take it so that I can go and do that mission. Did we finish our thing? Please. Oh, thank goodness. All right, guys, let's go back to the tower. Yeah, well, I mean, let's FT man, let's just not talk about all the things that Warframe gave to Destiny. It's probably a good idea. Don't say anything. That's awesome. Rap, tap, tap. By the way, Rel or whoever that thing is visits me constantly. I can't even tell you how many times I have literally been scared to death just because I was just walking around in my ship, hanging out, building something, whatever, and turn around and, hey kiddo, hey kiddo, hey kiddo. Like, oh my God, it just destroyed. Ah, it's so creepy. And yeah, from what I've read, the stalker not killed his Tenno, but basically separated from his Tenno. That's how I see it. The man in the wall. I don't know if it has something to do with the choices. All of my choices were light choices. And I can tell you, like, very, very frequently, he shows up in my ship. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but that dialogue at the end of the War Within quest is the thing that got me the most. Just especially, look at all the stuff I have in here. God, Lord. I'm not screwing with that. Especially if you, look into essentially like the way that he says, "What's the matter, kiddo? Didn't you forget? You owe me." What happened on that ship on the Zeraman 10-0 that entity is talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a thing, and my personal belief, my personal theory on the man in the wall is the man in the wall is an entity, and I think that entity is the void. Like, in that regard, like, so all the stuff in the void isn't a place, it's a thing. It's a person. And I feel like what that line is speaking to is the idea that whatever happened in the void,
Walk tall, gun.
like whatever happened to the adults that made them go crazy, the kids were actually given a choice. For some reason, the entity in the void gave them a choice, and instead of turning them crazy, gave them this power to survive through the situation. And that's what I think the man is saying to us later. You owe me for this. I saved your life. You owe me. So the question is, what did he do for them? Why do we owe the man in the wall? Do you know what I'm saying? What happens in the void stays in the void. But yeah, that's my personal thought. And like I said, it's that personal connection that the kids have with the void that makes me think that a deal was struck. And I mean, if you're a child, you wouldn't have any understanding of not doing a thing. Especially if you just saw all these people around you that were dying and everything else like that. Like you wouldn't have any other recourse to take, but then to basically say, okay, well, save me. But later on, the Red Veil guys too, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it never seems to affect the children, and you have to ask yourself, why did the entity spare the kids? He obviously did. What is the end goal? Why is he doing this? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, but the sentience went into the void and only then became sentient, right? They were basically self-replicating machines that were supposed to go in and terraform the Tau system. And when they came back, they were literally sentient beings. So what exactly in the void is able to animate machines and give them sentience and give the Tennos incredible power? Well, see, now my thought with Rel, the idea of Rel, here's where I think that goes. Rel, as a child, understood somehow that this entity wasn't something to be trifled with. It was not a situation where you just screwed around with this thing. It was to be feared. And because he had kind of a disconnect from the rest of the children, didn't have like the same type of support structure that the rest of them had, he took it upon himself to hold that entity back, to basically chain that entity within the Hara.
We can't afford to let him hold
Warframe and not allow it to do anything. But didn't the sentience come from the void, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole reason the sentients are the way they are is because they were sent in to try to terraform the Tau system and came back changed. Not only did they come back changed, but also they came back for revenge, because this transformation had also changed them to the point where they could no longer replicate any longer. Yeah, they weren't sentient before, exactly. They were just normal. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying right there. Is essentially that they came from the they came from the Orkin. The Orkin sent them in. And the void is absolutely poison to them. That's true. But they were sent, the sentients were first, they were actually made by the Orkin as just self-replicating machines to help terraform a new solar system, because our current solar system is based upon, most of it's all genetically engineered. Like, they've stripped the resources of everything in the solar system up to this point. So the idea was to go to the Tau system and start fresh. And when they sent the machines out, when they came back, not only did they have sentience, or sentient abilities where they could actually feel and think and understand and had a will of their own. Furthermore, they were downright pissed that they lost the ability to replicate. There's the crux of the war. The Great War was started because of this whole thing, that essentially that the sentients were mad at the Orkin for taking away their ability to reproduce. Yeah, that's right. They didn't become sterile until they're tripped back. That's exactly right. See, I didn't think that they were self-aware before they went into the void. I thought that they were just machines that were being sent in to terraform a new area. And when they came back through, That's when they actually had self-awareness and vengeance. Right? Yeah, okay, so that's true. So now this is the crux of our whole war that we have here. The Sentients versus the Orkin. This is where everything begins. This is how the Warframes even come into play, because the Orkin have no way to defeat the Sentients. They are losing the battle. So they start experimenting with these golems that they made from infested flesh, but they couldn't control any of them. And that's whenever the kids come into play. They have the ability to interact with them and actually become like a piece of the frame. Yeah, they were machines. They got self-awareness at some point being on the towel. That's what I thought too. That's what I read at least. I think so. I think that everything. I think you're going to see this story come full circle. Like, I feel like the Sentients may even be a piece of the man in the wall. Like, he may have actually, or the entity, whatever it is, it obviously has incredible powers if it can do for us what it did. So making machines, you know, come to life wouldn't necessarily be that daunting of a task for it. Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's true. The Orkin did know that, but they didn't know. The one thing the Orkin didn't realize, though, was that they would come back with a vengeance. I don't think Tenno age. I don't think, and to be quite honest with you, just given their chemical makeup, I don't even necessarily know that Tenno are real things any longer. They're more of an ethereal entity. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that, considering the fact that they can you know, move from physical to ethereal in like no time flat, moving between the warframes? Like, I'm telling you, I think that the man in the wall is the prime mover of the story. And I think that the man in the wall has an influence on Hunhao. I think the man in the wall has an influence on everything in the game. I just don't think that they've made it to be that much of a known thing yet. Let's see, in the second dream, how's the frame move? Exactly. So, okay, so in the reason why the frames can move is because they're not just like a suit. They've never been a suit. They actually started out as golems. They were these things that essentially were made of infested flesh of the technocyte that became the infested flesh. And they were almost impossible to control. What they ended up finding out by accident, I can't remember. There is one thing. There's a little lore note under the Rhino Prime frame. If you guys have that one, or if you go in there, you can read it in the lore. But something happened to that point where they noticed that the kids were able to manipulate the warframes. And at that point, there's like a line in the lore that says something like, so what do we do? Or something like, what happens next? And like the guy says, just get prepared for a big promotion or something like that. Because at that moment, they realized that the warframes could actually, you know, they could work for them. And they could be the answer against the Sentients. They are Mr. Stelios, but they do have their own. They have their own sentience. The warframes aren't lifeless. They can do things on their own, and they did things on their own before the Tenno. The Tenno and them just have like this symbiotic bond where it's almost like the warframe allows its body to be taken over. Don't forget, kiddo, you're nothing without me. Exactly, Eldred. That is what I'm talking about right there. From all those little terms that happen at the very end of the War Within, you have to, at least I have to believe, that
Be brave out there, Titan.
the man in the wall is the reason why the Tenno have powers to begin with. And at some point down the road, we're going to have to make peace with that agreement, with that bargain. Like Venom. I like that. Yep. Like Venom. I want to see if Hun Hao will help us get Lotus back. Well, let's just keep in mind, as far as Hun Hao's concerned, the only time he would ever help us out is if it's going to be for his own gain. One, because that's how Hun Hao has always been represented in the story. But two, more importantly, we've already put Hun Hao down twice. So he's certainly not going to come to us as a friend. Lotus is technically a sentient. However, Lotus was actually Nata. Nata was a sentient that was actually sent in to infiltrate the Orokin. And for lack of a better term, kill the Tenno. The difference is that when Nata got into that area and understood what Margulis had done, and the story of how Margulis was so selfless with the Tenno, it changed her entire perspective. The reason being was because Nata also experienced the loss of the ability to have children, to have, offspring. And when she put that together with the story of what Margulis had done and the fact that there were all these children that basically, they're just innocent kids, she took all that, Nata, changed her entire perspective on the war, at least we think that, and took the kids as her own. So, and this is the newest thing, this new apostasy thing. What's really weird, for anybody that's seen it already, again, there's going to be probably some spoilers in here if you haven't, but it's possible that Nata reanimated Margulis's body and assumed her form legitimately versus just being like a scenario where, she just kind of assumed her position in spirit, if you will, like literally assumed her body. And the reason why I said that, I know that Margulis is dead, but my question is, Mr. Stelios, did you happen to see the newest apostasy prologue trailer first? Yep, that's right, Elred. Yep. Yes, it is. Not this lore event, not yet, Tyler. We're PC got it. We're a couple weeks behind, so we should be seeing it here shortly. Exactly. The only thing that was able to keep the golems legitimate was the Tenno.
Hey, you play cards, Guardian?
Yes, exactly. Like how Hun Hao entered the sword. Yeah. Okay, so you have seen that. So, okay, so given that fact, Ballas comes up to the Lotus. Ballas and the Lotus technically are enemies, because Ballas is being an Orokin and Nata being a sentient. They are enemies. They are not friends at all. But yet Ballas looks at Lotus as Margulis. Oh, that's possible too. I didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that Ballas is kind of like trying to free Margulis of Nata. Do you see where I'm going with that? Like that could be what we're talking about. This is a really great Destiny stream, by the way. We're really getting a lot of Destiny.
There is hope for
Destiny information. But yeah, see, now I'm starting to touch on Guys, I wish I had more time to, like, if I had like a staff of people to help me with my videos, I'd be pumping out stuff. I have so many interesting things that I want to talk about with Warframe, just not enough time. I like these streams because we can sit there and talk about stuff together. No, he actually says, he actually says that they basically are the same person. She's like, you're trapped, just like she was. So they could necessarily, they could possibly be some form of, and there's another one. Car, good call. Lotus is the helmet. Lotus is the helmet. Because, of course, to free Margolis, what did Ballas get rid of? In the apostasy. Oh, it's okay, game. I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, like, what? Well, first of all, where is Hanhao?
There is hope for humanity here.
We could talk about that too. Is he dead? Is he not dead? I have heard the Quills talk about the multiverse a bunch of times too, and you can, yeah. There has to be one in here. I mean, again, it. The question is so what does this all mean for us? Like,
Eververse isn't just a title. It's a
is there a possibility that we're going to have to fight against Margolis?
Eververse isn't just a title.
Maybe.
It's a family philosophy. Always another mile and forever.
But I thought,
another
didn't we?
tomorrow.
I thought we killed Hanhao in Cephalon Suda's datascape.
She said she wanted to express herself, so I gave her.
Or
a
at least
thumbs up.
destroyed a version.
Says so on the package.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. When you take into consideration the Orokin, especially with Margolis, the fact that they have continuity, I mean, anybody can really be brought back to life, right? I know, seriously, yes. Fast, shut up! She's like, so nasty, too, with the things that she says. Jerk.
Clean up dust.
What are you guys talking
reorganize
about
my
over here?
inventory. It's not home yet, but it will be. Eververse deals in all manner of goods.
I hate you. Okay, that makes sense.
Hope for humanity yet, with guardians such as you.
Well, who knows, Ezekiel? That could be something we have to go through at some point because, so you guys know, like, I have no editing background. I have no video software background whatsoever. I just one day was playing Destiny and saw people doing it on YouTube, and I wanted to do it too because I have an opinion. So everything that I've been picking up, all the videos and whatnot, everything's self-taught. So it just takes me a lot longer to do videos than other people just because I'm just not that good at it.
There is hope for humanity.
Oh, I'll be playing some more Warframe. You don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I mean, again, that's the thing. The funny thing about it with the Void is if in fact there is an entity that presides over that, or at least is the embodiment of it, we might just not understand exactly how his powers or its powers work and what its intentions are. You know, giving power to the Tenno might be some part of its end goal, along with giving power to, you know, again, if this is just speculation, but if they were the same thing with the sentience, like, there could be an end game. if this thing is calculating, if this thing is, you know, completely on point on what it wants to do with, you know, the Warframe universe, it's probably going to be a situation where we're not going to see its plan coming until it's too late. And we're probably going to have to ask for. I know, seriously. You guys know that everybody picked up that the tower is a person, right? In Cetus.
Zavala send you my way, Titan?
I don't know if everybody got that, but that big tower, it's Cetus. That's a person. The Unum is a human, or some type of being that actually has human characteristics, and literally tells the people of Cetus what pieces of its wall flesh to take so that it can heal in other areas quicker. I think the man in the wall thing just came from Rel. Yeah, because that was, as a child, that's all Rel could understand this entity as. Just a man on the wall. Could be. Imagine if a planet died. That'd be crazy. I mean, the beautiful part about it is the story where we're at in Warframe is just incredible, and the way that they're handling it with care, it's probably only going to get better. So, yeah, the Unum is like the Silver Grove, exactly. But, well, guys, we're coming up on 3 hours and 40 minutes. So, as much as I've enjoyed this here, I gotta get going. Where did I learn the thing about being in Cetus? Just reading through the lore. Oh, great. Carsey, I never even thought of that one. Yeah, you're going to have to get that game going. But, yeah, so next week, we are talking about Warframe. Next weekend, we've got LOR and John Prodman all together. One thing. What am I using to stream on YouTube? I'm actually using my Elgato. I'll tell you, the Elgato stuff seems to work really, really nice. Really nice. All right, guys. Well, take care of yourself. What if the man on the wall... I mean, Ken, that's absolutely possible right there. That's what I mean. Who knows? Who knows what this creature is? It could be a god. It could preside over all the multiverses together. No, Cecil, I did not get good with Limbo at all. In fact, if you watch my stream, it's pretty pathetic. The end, especially. If you want to see somebody play Limbo like a coward, then you need to watch the end of the last stream. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me for all this time. I know it went a lot longer, but boy, I think we had some fun today, right? And Mercury's disgusting. I mean, it's such a small. It's like you could fight on the tower. At some point, Cecil, somebody's gonna have to teach me. You might be able to teach me because it's terrible. I'm terrible at them. But all right, guys. Well, I'm going to take off as well. I do appreciate you all sticking with me here. Please take care of yourself. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. The Mercury on Warframe is just fine. The one on Destiny is pretty bad. Maybe Wednesday night, potentially Division stream. Anybody in? Division stream Wednesday night? Say 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Too late? Too early? Anybody? Have a good day, Declan. See you. Take care. Hey, thank you. Is that Mr. Lyraman? Mr. Lyramion. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Later, Saf. Take care. See you, Ken. Take care. Tyler. See everybody. Take care of yourself. On the yeah, we probably will talk about Warframe lore on the Division stream, I'm sure. So all right, well, keep an eye out, everybody, for the schedule there. If I'm going to be able to do it, if I can get a time together and everything, you'll see it on there. All right? So take care. Talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you, everybody.